Join the millions of music, radio, and podcast fans on the #1 streaming radio app now.
iHeartRadio.
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 Free never sounded so good.
It's the Asheville Turkey Trot 5K and Gobble Wobble, Thursday, November 23rd in downtown Asheville. The 23rd running of this great event starts at 9:15 Thanksgiving morning with the Gobble Wobble 1 mile fun run starting at 8:30. Part of the proceeds benefit Manna Food Bank. Last year, over 2,000 runners helped create 24,000 meals from Manna during the holiday season. So before you hit the buffet, come out and hit the streets. For more information and to get signed up, go to AshevilleTurkeyTrot.com. AshevilleTurkeyTrot.com. Proudly sponsored by iHeartMedia Asheville.
From the Ingalls Studios, this is ESPN Asheville, WPEK, W225CJ Fairview, WMXF Waynesville, and iHeart Radio Station.
Now, your chance to win $1,000. Just enter this nationwide keyword on our website, Bills. That's Bills. Enter it now.
Log on now to ESPNAVL.com.
The pounding begins. The wagons are circled. Every wind is raidered. It's football time in America, and this republic has never been stronger. The Sportsocracy, Beer City's best sports talk, live from the Ingalls studio.
It is ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM and 1400. The Sportsocracy, heard everywhere on the iHeartRadio app. Seen everywhere on YouTube. Go to thesportsocracy.com. Click the live video link. Subscribe to the channel. Join us in the chat. You can see us live here in the Ingalls studio. As it is a Threadbare Thursday, all important for you to get subscribed to the channel.
If you're a member of that YouTube channel, you saw me. Well, kind of live. It was recorded, but you had a chat, so it looked live. Because it's mock draft time. It's the happiest time of the year. I really need to cut I can't remember. It's from South Park when they did montage. Mm-hmm. I need to do that with "Gonna be a mock draft," and play that over all of them.
Yes. I'm all for that.
These are the things that Jeremy thinks about at 3 o'clock in the morning. This is the reason he's going to die a young man.
It's brilliance like that, though, that has gotten us to the apex that we're at right now, right?
I think you're using apex wrong, but
you know, it's always continuing to climb. It is
kind of like the apex
Thursday.
of Thursday night football that we get tonight.
God. Oh God! Man, I mean, you just. Don't you just love kicking the week off with a big old grumper on Thursday night football? Although, I mean, if you're into competitive football, I mean, both these teams suck something awful, so it could be a close game here.
I'm not sure I can do this one. I watch all the football. If there is a standalone game, I'm going to watch it. This might be my limit.
No, you're gonna. You're going to watch it because you're not going to be able to take your eyeballs off of it like a train wreck.
Am I, though?
I don't know. I'm trying to build it up here. The only reason that you would watch is if you got money on it, right?
Oh, I'm going to give you gambling picks. And I have to be really, really honest. I always tell you how I'm going to wager things.
Mm-hmm.
I have to give you the caveat of I ain't betting this one.
You're not?
No.
Okay.
No. I have bet Russian table tennis. I have bet NBA tournament mid-season garbage.
Yeah. What scares you about this game?
It's not a scares me. It's I don't want to have to watch this for any reason. If they played this game in my backyard, I would move.
Yeah. Look, it's a winnable game for the Carolina Panthers. Right? We are the home. This is the home market. So the Carolina Panthers, I mean, this is a winnable game for you. 1-7 on the season. This team's terrible. You should be able to winnable a game.
Well, I always fall into who has the better coach, who has the better quarterback, and who's at home. So that probably will tell you which side of this I'm going to be on. I don't feel good about it. No smiles in the YouTube chat.
All of those are confusing to me.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Who's better coach?
Frank Reich, not close.
Okay.
You could tell me this was Matt Eberflus against Tank Spencer with offensive coordinator Brian Hall, defensive coordinator Eddie Fox, and special teams coordinator Mark Starling.
Okay.
I would still go,
okay,
it's not Matt Eberflus.
All right.
Does that tell you anything?
Yeah.
I mean, no shade at any of your football knowledges, but I feel like that set an appropriate bar.
Better quarterbacks, obviously, Bryce Young, right?
Talent-wise, yes.
All right. But the Panthers aren't at home, so you lose that one.
Okay.
You got 2 out of 3?
Best 2 out of 3.
2 out of 3
ain't bad.
We've been doing this together way too long. The Carolina Panthers, Chicago Bears. Bad news for the Carolina Panthers. The pass rush will be a little limited tonight.
Oh, so that means Brian Burns is not going to play.
Yeah, no, Brian Burns.
I was about to say, because that is the pass rush.
Yeah, Brian Burns got DMP.
Yetur Gross-Matos doesn't really do much for me.
Frankie Louvu's going to play, though. I think. I don't know. He wasn't listed on the injury report, so he should play.
God, I feel like we should play a fun game of bear or bear. Take the bottom of the Bears roster. I'll tell you a name. You tell me if they're a Chicago Bear or member of the Parks and Rec Service. You thought I was going to a completely different place there,
didn't
you?
know where you were going to go with
you
that.
You thought I was going to a dirty place. I saw the look on your face.
I did. I thought you were going to make a joke that would get us canceled, and that kind of made me scared. I mean, the Bears are playing with Tyson Bagent again. Secret Bagent man is going to start for the 4th game in a row because Justin Fields isn't back from his dislocated thumb.
Bagent man.
So this should be a game that you win, right?
One would think.
You would think that the Carolina Panthers could figure out a way to beat a team that, well, pretty much everybody.
Isn't it always great when you watch a game that you adamantly know one of these teams really wants to win.
Mm-hmm.
One of these teams really wants to win because I have your draft pick.
Exactly. Like, this is not one of those, like, we'll just, we'll lay back and it'll be fine. They need to beat the Panthers.
Yes.
Or the draft pick, the possibility of getting the number 1 draft pick. They get a 41% chance of getting the number 1 pick if they beat the Panthers tonight, right?
Because the Cardinals are going to accidentally win games with Kyler Murray.
Right. The Panthers pick becomes premium if you beat them tonight. Your pick becomes less valuable, but you get the bigger shot. If you were to let them win tonight, the odds of you getting the first pick with either of those picks is no higher than 20% with either of the picks. So, this is like big-time the Chicago Bears need to show up and play tonight.
No doubt. No doubt.
And it's bad news for the Carolina Panthers, who should be, they should be able to collect a win, but I don't know. It's Thursday night football, and it's gross.
So bad.
And it's going to be like 12-10, and there's going to be 2 safeties in the game.
Oh, yeah. So your score sounds different, but that's a weird way to say 8-4. The first 8-4 game in NFL history.
Or will it be shootout?
We'll siphon back to the days of Y.A. Tittle and Otto Graham.
Or will this end up being that we expect that this is going to be the gross little slugfest, and it ends up being, well, neither of these teams can really defend each other, and neither of them can really get pressure on the other one. And so we just score all night long. I mean, that's the game I would love.
There's no path to that.
Come on.
There's no path to that.
Bryce Young, goes
throws for
300 yards and
he looks like
touchdowns.
The best rookie quarterback since C.J. Stroud.
And Tyson Bagent, man, he's just out there running his keister off. Scores 3 rushing touchdowns, and we have a ball game. That's my hope for tonight.
Can you give me a narrative to watch this game? Because I have only one. There is only one narrative that I can look at, and I'm not going to lie to you. I'm bending the truth a little bit to get there.
I mean, for the average fan?
Yes.
I mean, obviously, if you're a fan of the team, you have a reason to watch. But for the average fan,
if you're a fan of the Panthers, you have way less reason to watch.
The only thing I would be watching for in this game is to see how Bryce Young responds, I guess, after the bad week last week and all the hits that he's taken in the media because of the C.J. Stroud game last week. That's the best narrative I got.
In the YouTube comments, Jonathan Welch said, DJ Moore revenge game. As somebody asked, should I bench him in fantasy? Oh, good Lord, no.
Don't do that.
Don't do that. I don't care if he has me throwing to him. He's going for a bill and a tutty tonight. That will be coming up.
Even if he has to have 7 rushes to get there.
And that will be coming up in your 5 on it tonight. Stone Sports Podcast said liquor. Hard liquor. It's a pretty good answer. My answer would be, what do the Chicago Bears do if Tyson Bagent comes out here and is good again? Because he's been good minus some interceptions.
Yes.
He had some interceptions against New Orleans, one of which was real bad.
Mm-hmm.
He comes out and beats the Panthers.
Yes.
Are you setting him down for Justin Fields?
Yes.
I don't know that I am.
Yes. Don't even think about it. We're just playing him.
So, and the mock draft really got me thinking about this because I moved around with the Bears and I said, I think they just stick with Justin Fields for another year because there's not really a quarterback that if you don't have one, you're not going to get Caleb Williams. I have some questions about Drake May. I would kill to see the Chicago Bears draft another North Carolina quarterback just to watch the city of Chicago implode more than it already is.
Oh, Mitch Trubisky 2.0.
Yeah. They can't do that, right?
I mean, you can.
Can you?
Yeah. If he's the best option you got, you can sell that. He's different.
I don't know.
He's been a steady starter. You can sell that. Mitch Trubisky had 1 year under his belt in college, so we can play off that whole he was a bust thing to a point.
He's still a North Carolina quarterback, and you still have a very vocal fan base.
I think you can get.
If they wind up with an 0-1 pick, I do think they would take Caleb Williams. I'm not sure you're selling that Drake May thing. But as I was doing the mock draft, I looked at Chicago and went, man, you're like the most interesting team in the NFL when it comes to the draft because you're going to be picking so high. Because there's a path you could wind up with Marvin Harrison Jr. and Brock Bowers or MHJ and Jared Verse or something ridiculous. You get 2 blue chip players if you don't take a quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
So there's part of me that almost thinks it would be beneficial to you if you didn't wind up with one.
Yeah, but I'm going for one.
Oh no, no doubt.
Like no, we want the first pick. We want to do this.
So we can bring Caleb Williams in and typhoon his career like we have hundreds of quarterbacks before him.
Maybe we won't make the same mistakes again, right? Maybe this time we'll get the first round quarterback and we'll go get an offensive coach. We'll put somebody that's got to be the best hope you can have.
Well, I mean, they hired they've hired offensive coaches.
I'm going to say the same thing
killed
about Chicago Bears quarterbacks as everybody has told us about C.J. Stroud and Ohio State quarterbacks. At some point, this has to stop, right? At some point, we're going to have a 4,000-yard passer with the Chicago Bears. And maybe this is the opportunity. Maybe this is, I'm trying to look at the sunny side of life here. I got nothing to be happy about as a Chicago Bears fan right now.
Yeah, there's really nothing staring at these two teams.
Woo, defensive tackle that we just paid too much money to. Or defensive end, excuse me. I like him, but that's not selling me.
$24 million from Montez Sweat.
Right.
Think about what I just said. Oh, and you gave up a second-round pick to do it.
Yeah, this ain't sending me back to monsters of the midway times, right? I'm not feeling all hunky-dunky about this. So I need something to cling on to, and maybe this is it.
Are there 2 more listless franchises in the NFL that could be playing each other on Thursday Night Football?
Yes, the New England Patriots could be involved in this game. I moved the Carolina Panthers out of that listless category. They may be listless for the rest of this season, but they're not listless long-term. New England is listless long-term.
Aren't they, though? Are they, though?
What are they going to do?
Well, no. I'm not disagreeing with you about New England. Okay. I'm disagreeing with you about Carolina. You said you moved them out of the listless tier. What exactly did they do that made you go, oh, yeah? Was it Bryce Young's 2 picks on screen passes?
No, they've never been out of that category. For
Outside
me.
of high
as soon
school,
as you drafted Bryce Young, you're in the category of you've got hope for the future.
As soon as outside of high school football, I think I've seen 10 screen passes intercepted in my life. I watched Bryce Young do it 2 times in the same game.
Hey, bad day. He had a bad day.
He's had a
All
bunch
right.
of bad days. He's
You
really
take that one down.
really struggling to acclimate to the work environment.
Take your next turn and turn it around. However the damn song goes. It was a bad day, all right? We're gonna lick our wounds and we're moving on.
Did you just throw a song lyric at me?
I did.
Turn around every now and then it gets.
He can't do it without cussing. I actually watched Old School last night. That was
that's a great
that was
movie.
a throwback. It was a throwback.
It's a great movie.
Hey, time for a break. You're in the Sportsocracy. ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM and 1400. It is Threadbare Thursday. Throw out your topics in the YouTube comments. We'll get to it before the end of the show. The Asheville Championship returns to Harrah's Cherokee Center in Asheville November 10th and 12th. This year's field is the best yet. The Clemson Tigers, Maryland Terrapins, Davidson Wildcats, and the Blazers of UAB. 4 exciting matchups with a champion to be crowned in one of the premier early season tournaments in college basketball. For more information and to get your tickets, go to AshevilleChampionship.com. That's AshevilleChampionship.com. It all starts in Asheville November 10th and 12th. Proudly sponsored by Ingalls Markets.
I believe real estate isn't about properties. It's about people. I'm Clarissa Hyatt-Zach with eXp Realty, serving all of Western North Carolina. Navigating the home buying and selling journey can feel overwhelming at times, and that's why having an agent who cares about you and your needs is key. I'm a native of Western North Carolina, and I close over a home a week. I'm an expert in the market, pricing my sellers correctly to net you the most money, and working as a skilled negotiator for my buyers. Please give me a call today at 828-774-6343 to set up a complimentary market analysis.
If cleanliness is next to godliness, look around the car right now. Is that very godly? Look, life comes at you fast, but so does WBNC Auto Detailing. They have the tools to make your interior look like it's coming off the showroom floor. You don't believe me? Check them out on Instagram. All that filth and years of stains disappear. WBNC Auto Detailing does full interior and exterior details with paint correction, and they do wax and ceramic coatings. Call WBNC Auto Detailing at 455-3700. Premium care with a Southern hospitality touch.
Wendy's new breakfast 2 for $3 Biggie Bundles lets you choose from your fave 4, including a sausage or egg and cheese biscuit, small seasoned potatoes, or medium hot coffee. Limited time only during breakfast hours. U.S. price and participation may vary. Not valid in a combo. Single item at regular price.
Gillette Intimate gives guys a gentle and easy shave on there. And around there. And even under there. Don't treat your groin like junk. Respect it with Gillette Intimate, the best a man can get. Buy now at a retailer near you.
It's Ryan Seacrest here. Check this out. With Boost Infinite, you get the latest iPhone every year and unlimited wireless for just $60 a month. You get the new titanium iPhone 15 Pro that was just announced. Then next year, you get the latest iPhone, and this keeps happening every year. It's Boost Infinite. Infinitely better. To switch today or learn more, pick up your phone, dial pound 250, and say Boost Infinite.
Terms apply. After 30 gigabytes, service may be slow. Receive a comparable iPhone model each year with an acceptable trade-in every year. Requires credit qualification and 36-month phone financing agreement. You'll have the option to receive a one-time auto-dial text message from iHeartMedia.
The annoying runny nose, the constant sneezing, the itchiness, and battle just to catch your breath. If you suffer from seasonal allergies, sinusitis, or nagging sinus congestion, there's a natural, easy-to-use solution that can help provide fast, drug-free relief. It's called Navage, and it uses powered suction to rinse your nasal passages in seconds. Millions of people use Navage daily to help provide relief from seasonal allergies and sinus congestion. Medications treat the symptoms, but Navage treats the problem at the source, flushing out the allergens and pollen trapped in your nose. Navage also helps wash out airborne bacteria, dust, dirt, and viruses quickly and painlessly so you can get back to breathing clearly again. Say goodbye to sinus suffering and hello to better breathing with Navage. Navage is available at Walmart, Walgreens, Target, CVS, Rite Aid, and online at Navage.com. Navage. N-A-V-A-G-E. Clean nose, healthy life.
My ride smells just right, just right, just right, just right. Y'all gotta try that Febreze car. Just right, just right, just right. Yeah. La 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 la. With up to 40 days of consistency, all over Febreze car clips right on your vent. You know my car's my happy place. Keep that smile on my face when it smells just right, just right, just right.
The Sportsocracy.
Why are you smiling? Because I love football.
ESPN Asheville. It's a Threadbare Thursday. You know, in the YouTube comments here, Stone Sports Podcast, he says the Carolina Panthers made a bad pick. It should have been Stroud. Frank Reich can't turn it around. There's a lot of that going on right now. And I just feel like it's foolish to give up this soon.
All right.
And, I mean,
defend that.
What I mean, do we believe that in 8 games? I mean, has this kid proved that he can't play in the NFL? Has Frank Reich? I mean, I don't know. Has Frank Reich proved that he can't develop this quarterback just because it hasn't happened in the first 5 months of his career or whatever it is?
Well, my question would be, what has Frank Reich done as a coach to prove to you that he could actually turn this around?
Well, where's my cricket sound effect? I don't really have anything that I can point to and go, hey, I mean, he was a part of the staff in Philadelphia that won a Super Bowl. That's all he has, right? He went to Indianapolis and that was a failure. No doubt, unmitigated disaster.
As a head coach, where have they finished in passing yards the years that he has been head coach?
No, I don't know. I'll say 20th or lower.
Indianapolis, his first year was 6.
Okay.
From there, he's gone 30th, 11th, 26th, 23rd, 27th.
Okay.
That's not a great track record.
No.
We treat Frank Reich like he's a quarterback whisperer because he played quarterback and because when he was the OC in Philadelphia, that was the best we ever saw of Carson Wentz. That's really all you've got.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have any other, hey, look, this is what he did, and it was fantastic. He had a year with Phillip Rivers where it wasn't awful. Other than that, it was unmitigated failure with Matt Ryan.
Mm-hmm.
It's been unmitigated failure up until this point with Bryce Young.
Mm-hmm.
In the next segment, we're going to talk about, are you a year away from being a year away? And I look at Carolina, and I've heard our buddy Adam Gold talking about this, of, you know, they're 14 players away from being a real legitimate contender.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not tremendously sure that he's wrong.
Is it that many?
How many players on this roster do you look at and go, yes, these will be stalwart players on a NFC South division winner? Brian Burns, you've got to pay.
Yeah.
You're going to have to pay Derek Brown.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to have to pay J.C. Horn in pretty short order, and I'm not sure that I would.
Right. I mean,
because he can't stay healthy.
Now it's a no. Right.
Jeremy Chin's a decent player, but I'm reasonably sure he's going to leave at the end of this year. And they were making calls on him around the deadline.
Mm-hmm.
I don't see one on the offensive line unless somebody at some point gets intelligent and goes, hey, Ike Mequano, there's a big mulleted ginger in Asheville that said, he's a guard, he's a guard, he's a guard.
Well, I mean, until you have somebody else to throw out there.
I don't care if I don't care if Frank Reich played left tackle. It would be better than Ike Mequano.
Are you sure?
Oh, no doubt. He is horror awful.
Yeah. I feel like if they had a better option, they'd be playing him, right? Brady Christensen was the backup plan to the backup plan, right? And then he got hurt.
Mm-hmm.
So what are you going to do? You got to throw your best guy out there.
All right, so let me ask this in a different way. If Bryce Young is your franchise player, let's say he figures all this out and he becomes the quarterback that you want him to be,
mm-hmm.
Who's 2? Who is 2? Who is the second player you look at and go, franchise player?
Burns. For now. I mean, you could easily cut ties with him at the end of the season, but right now he's in that spot.
Well, you're not going to cut ties. You're going to franchise him, and then if you can't get a deal done.
Well, no, you can trade him, or there's.
Well, you got to franchise him to trade him. He's got to be under contract,
right?
I don't know, and I like Brian Burns.
Mm-hmm.
I do. He's a Florida State guy.
Mm-hmm.
And then your 3 is what? Derek Brown. That is a horrid roster.
Or Jeremy Chin,
who most likely walks out the door this offseason.
Or Frankie Louvu.
Frankie Louvu, who was a cast-off of the New York Jets. an off-ball linebacker that the New York Jets looked at and went,
no, you don't have a bunch of you don't have a bunch of stars, obviously. I mean, Adam Thielen would be next on that list.
So that's what leads me into my question is how well would you have to crush the draft over what period of time for you to go, oh yeah, contender?
Yeah.
You've got to get 5 legit starters every year for 3 years before you're even a threat in the worst division I've ever seen.
Right. The window.
That is a whale of an 8-ball to be by. All right, New England. I'll use them as a point of reference because you said they were the most listless team in the NFL.
Yeah.
You don't have a quarterback. That's super obvious.
Mm-hmm.
You have Christian Gonzalez,
Mm-hmm.
your first-round pick this year. He got hurt, but he was phenomenal. You've got Matthew Judon. I think you hit on Keon White. It's going to take a little bit of time.
Mm-hmm.
Kyle Duggar, Demario Douglas, who I'm really fond of.
Mm-hmm.
You still got pieces. I'm not sure there's a team in the NFL that I look at and go, you have less pieces that are long-term franchise players. And not even franchise players, just really good players on a good roster. You said Frankie Louvu.
Yeah.
Where would he fall in with the Cleveland Browns?
Bench.
It's kind of my point.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's good now, and he's fine. I like the kid, but he's not a long-term piece. That's not a guy that you're going to go, oh, yeah, we're going to turn it around with Frankie Louvu. It's bad. It's bad.
It is bad.
I think the Carolina Panthers are the furthest team in the NFL away from competition. Competitive. That's why I think no matter how good Bryce Young is, it's never going to look great. Not in Carolina. Not in Carolina. You have no first-round pick this year. You have no second-round pick next year. And I just said you need to hit 5 legit big boy starters in the next 3 drafts. That's going to be really hard to do when you're missing 2 of your 4 best picks.
Mm-hmm. And the problem is you don't have any time or patience. You don't, right? It has to be done right now. It's the way it's been for the last 3 years. We were waiting on Matt Rule to get fired, waiting and waiting and waiting. Meanwhile, you kept building up bad move after bad move. You know, I defended Scott Fitterer for a long time this smart guy coming over from Seattle.
Oh, yeah.
The first couple of moves he made was like, oh, look, this guy's a genius. All the things that we've heard.
Well, you know,
and then
you know what they need.
What's that?
We've got a general manager in Scott Fitterer.
Mm-hmm.
That's not gone well. And you haven't drafted well.
Mm-hmm.
Things have really gone off the rails, so you're going to need a new GM.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's time for a General Mullet. Let's go. Oh,
no one's going to hire you to be in their front office. Not with that beard.
Oh, 100%.
No one's going to take you seriously. No. Who do you think you are, Brett Kiesel? No.
Somebody called me Justin Turner in the YouTube chats the other day, and I went,
it's not bad.
I never thought of that.
Not bad.
I get called a lot of names. That Oliver Anthony feller.
I've
been
Justin
called that.
Turner. It works.
I got called Fat Luke Combs one time, and I went, oh,
wait.
Love Luke.
You know what you'll never
Luke,
be
my dog.
called? Fat Jelly Roll.
No.
That's a big guy.
That's a
big
dude.
guy. I don't really think I'd ever paid attention to him all that closely.
Oh, he's the only I will say this about Jelly Roll, though. He's the only person on the planet Earth that outkicked their coverage with who they're married to more than I did.
Money helps, guys.
He didn't have money when they got married. He just got out of jail.
Oh. Yeah.
They've been together for quite
maybe
some
I need
time.
to dig more into that.
I think he was singing when they met, but he
Well, I
wasn't
mean,
who he is now.
He's got some kind of talent. That's for sure.
He's a tremendous singer, which is what I think you're hinting at.
100%. What else would I be? Get your mind out of the gutter. Now, I had never really paid attention to him, I guess. I mean, I knew he was a heavy-set gentleman, but I never realized like how big that guy actually is until Mark had Fox News on in the studio this morning, and he's a big guy. He's on their show all the time, and yeah, he's a biggin'.
Yeah, he makes.
Hey, maybe he could come play offensive line for the Carolina Panthers.
No doubt, he makes formerly fat Tank Spencer look like
Mr.
Mr. Olympia.
Mr. Olympia.
He's a big boy.
He's a big old boy.
He's a really talented fella.
It's really neither here nor there. It's just I was taken aback by the sheer size of him. You're in the Sportsocracy here on ESPN Asheville. 92.9 FM, 880 AM and 1400. You got a hot take like, hey, Jelly Roll's a biggin'. You get it in the YouTube comments. We'll get to it on a Threadbare Thursday.
I mean, that's what happens when we take a day off midweek. We come back, and in the second segment, we're talking about the girth of Jelly Roll. If you had girth on your Sportsocracy bingo card, there's one for you.
We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we'll get just a bit outside, and we'll continue with the frivolities. Who's a year away from being a year away? It's going to be a long time before you're a contender. We'll talk about those teams next.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
Record warmth possible. Going to forecast a tie at 78 degrees. That was last set in 2005. Sunshine and a few clouds around this afternoon. Then the change will start rolling in tonight. Thickening clouds late toward midnight. Maybe a few showers around 53. Tomorrow, a few scattered showers around 58 degrees. Maybe some fog in the morning. Veterans Day, just a slight chance of seeing a little bit of rain. Otherwise cloudy and cool 52. Ray Stidgick, the Weather Channel.
This report is sponsored by Wendy's Breakfast 2 for $3 Biggie Bundles. Wendy's new Breakfast 2 for $3 Biggie Bundles lets you choose from your fave 4, including a sausage or egg and cheese biscuit, small seasoned potatoes, or medium hot coffee. Limited time only during breakfast hours. U.S. price and participation may vary. Not valid in a combo. Single item at regular price.
Haywood Community College offers over 30 programs of study to obtain your associate's degree or specialized certification. We can help you find the perfect program to pursue your educational journey while staying local. Offering small class sizes with flexible classroom delivery options and transferable degrees and credits to numerous North Carolina universities, there's no telling where HCC could lead you. Save time and money by staying local. Visit haywood.edu for more information.
Are you a business owner, CEO, or responsible for marketing? If you are, iHeartMedia can help you reach your goals and find new customers. We reach more consumers in your target area than anyone else. And we can give you access to those potential customers more cost-effectively across radio, digital, podcasting, and social. We'd love to show you how iHeartMedia can work for you. From your cell, dial pound 250 and say keyword great results. That's pound 250 and say great results.
eBay Motors is here for the ride with the parts you need for the prices you want. And with eBay Guaranteed Fit, it's guaranteed to fit your ride the first time, every time, or your money back. Keep your ride or die alive at ebaymotors.com. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
You can watch this NFL season like a fan, or you can prep like a scout if you listen to the award-winning Move the Sticks podcast. The show's hosted by me, Daniel Jeremiah, and my partner, Bucky Brooks. The two of us are bringing the knowledge from a career as NFL talent scouts to the podcast world so fans can watch and understand the nuances of the game like never before.
Subscribe now and listen to the Move the Sticks podcast on the iHeartRadio app or wherever you get your podcast.
Running a small business is no small task. At Home Trust Bank, we work hard to prepare businesses for whatever tomorrow may bring. Your dreams are our business, and we have local experts who can help you plan for a successful future. Dependable guidance you need and service you'll appreciate. At Home Trust Bank, we take your small business banking personally. Visit your local Home Trust branch or anytime at htb.com. Member FDIC.
We're back counting down to kickoff. Let's look at today's 3 keys to premium pre-gaming with Beast Unleashed, presented by Monster Brewing. Number 1, beat the heat.
Unleash the beast with bold, familiar flavors, 0 caffeine, and 0 sugar.
Number 2, running the option.
There's 4 to choose from: White Haze, Peach Perfect, Scary Berries, and my personal favorite, Mean Green.
And number 3, at 6% ABV, Max Protect.
Always drink responsibly, and you must be 21 or over.
Beast Unleashed, available at your local retailer.
Boy, you must be outside your mind.
The Sportsocracy.
Just a bit outside. He tried the corner and missed.
Back in the Sportsocracy on ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, 1400. And We got Thursday night football coming up tonight. It's the return of Blake Martinez. Did you see that?
Does he have his Pokemon cards with him?
He's got his Pokemon cards with him. He's bringing those to the party.
Don't buy them. It's a bad call.
Yeah. No, what was he selling? Fake ones?
Yes.
Bilked people out of like hundreds of thousands of dollars?
Yes.
That's wow.
It's a bold strategy.
All
Cotton.
else fails, you can go play for the Panthers. That's always a fallback, right? I've always wanted that to be my fallback. My day job falls through. I can go play professional football.
I live in Asheville. This falls through. I'm just going to get a sign and stand on Patton Avenue. It'll be just fine.
There's always a job around here, right? You can make money doing something. George Pickens. Oh, George Pickens. Apparently, there's more saga going on with him. Apparently, he scrubbed his Instagram account.
Of course he did, because that's what we do. I'm mad at you, which means I'm taking you off my Insta-face.
He was all mad after the game the other night, sulking on the sidelines when he didn't get the ball in the end zone. His teammates are having to come out and defend him, trying to lead him down a path. Like, everybody has got to treat George Pickens right now like, dude, don't do what AB did. All right?
Well, the Pittsburgh Steelers always have to have one that's a little questionable between the ears.
Chase Claypool, Deontay Johnson.
Juju Smith-Schuster.
Now. Juju.
Antonio Brown.
Oh, gosh.
This goes all the way back to Martavis Bryant.
Oh, yeah.
They've always – somehow Pittsburgh has always had one diva receiver on the roster at all times.
Yeah, Plaxico. Didn't they have him?
Well,
but he caused the trouble in New York.
I was about to
not
say
in Pittsburgh.
He didn't go bang bang on himself until in New York.
But I mean,
and then he came to the Jets.
I mean, George Pickens heading down that path. It's just sad to see. Sad to see. He's still got his peak coming though. Like his craziness. They're trying to get ahead of it now so that they can at least get 3 All-Pro seasons out of him before he goes, full crazy.
Well, I mean, there's a hot crazy scale for receivers the same way you've ever seen that YouTube video.
Right.
It's the talent crazy scale.
Mm-hmm.
And George Pickens is currently sustainably above the line. Or you want to avoid below the line, the Vicky Mendoza line.
The Vicky Mendoza.
My story's about Utah Jazz owner Ryan Smith. He was on the Pat McAfee show yesterday, and I had a few takeaways from that. One, that is the youngest looking 45-year-old man I've ever seen in my life.
Good for him.
He showed up and was it was like watching some podcast. Because I didn't know who he was at first. I missed the intro. And so they're just talking to this random guy that's wearing Utah Jazz stuff. And then I figured out who he was. He plays pickleball with J.J. Watt, and just a really interesting guy. But there was a comment that he made on the McAfee show that
if you had that on your bingo card, by the way, playing ping pong with
pickleball,
or pickleball,
which
with
basically
J.J. Watt.
is ping pong that you're standing on the court.
Ugh.
Oh, I would totally play pickleball with J.J. Watt. I would rather play beer pong with Rob Gronkowski, but if we're playing Mad Libs on activity, I would like to play with a professional athlete.
Sorry, continue.
Ryan Smith said something on the McAfee show that it caught me off guard. He said there was a lot of discussion happening between Michael Jordan and the Jazz fans that year, I remember, because he grew up a Jazz fan. Whether it was the pizza, getting sick, going to Vegas, whatever it was. The Wi-Fi in the building is Jordan pushed off. A slew of people went to Twitter to show their screenshots of the Wi-Fi in the Jazz arena is Jordan pushed off.
Heck yeah, he did.
I really like this guy. He's one, and they asked him about owning other teams. I would love to see him own an NFL team.
Mm-hmm.
That's the kind of guy, and apparently he's got a bajillion dollars. I don't know what he does. He owns Qualtrics?
Crimes. He does crimes.
I don't Qualtrics doesn't sound, I mean, I will say Qualtrics does sound like kind of like Enron, a company that many years from now defrauded the government out of millions of dollars. I'm not accusing them of that. I'm just saying that's
Qualtrics sounds more like something that's going to give you leaky, oily stools. So
Qualtrics does sound like it's selling a recreational, some kind of drug that you use for amorous activities.
I take these for my headaches, and the side effect is death. Oh, well, I'll take the chance with the headaches then.
Does sound like
Thanks
a company.
for the Qualtrics.
Does sound like a company where they should have commercials with two elderly people sitting in bathtubs on a beach holding hands. Do not take Qualtrics if you have a regular heartbeat or make sure your heart is healthy enough for sexual activity.
Yeah.
Qualtrics.com.
I mean, who's shocked that a guy that's worth $80 billion or whatever, this guy's 45 and he looks super young. Yeah, give it time. Give it time. He'll blow up like everybody else that's had plastic surgery. I don't know why anybody has plastic surgery these days. Like, I mean, have you seen some of these actresses that are showing up in things now? My wife was watching something the other day that had Nicole Kidman in it. She can't move her lips.
No.
Like, she looks like the Joker from the first Batman. Who was it? Kevin Nealon played that character in an Adam Sandler movie where his face was all stretched out, and every time he took a sip of his drink, it just rolled right out.
Yeah.
I couldn't tell, like, is she supposed to be happy or sad?
She was in that Linus.
Oh, this is a dramatic. Yes, that's what we were
She
watching.
was in Linus, and I did thoroughly enjoy when she went, "We must alert the president."
Right. Like, would somebody please get Mankind off my screen here? Her mouth doesn't even move like a Muppet.
Somebody's wearing a Nicole Kidman mask, and it's freaking me out.
Actual Nicole Kidman looks like somebody is wearing the Nicole Kidman mask.
Yes.
Like they were a bank robber in Point Break.
Yes. Never seen it.
Oh, that's 80s surfer cheese all over it, man. Patrick Swayze and Keanu Reeves. You
lost me at 80s. Really lost me at Keanu Reeves.
Come on, man.
Keanu Reeves could star in the Jeremy Green story, and I wouldn't watch it.
Are you saying you've never seen John Wick?
I've never seen one all the way through. My wife's watched them, and I've been in the room, but I wasn't actively paying attention.
That's the best movie ever made about someone whose dog got murdered and then proceeded to kill an entire city.
I think that's the only thing I know about that is that's how it starts.
I killed my dog, and all of a sudden, that's license to kill, brother. Wow. You're in the Sportsocracy, ESPN Asheville. It's quite the rabbit hole.
It's been 41 minutes of tomfoolery.
It has been.
And we got another 2 hours and 19 minutes of it. Let's go.
Fire it up. We'll get to the college football power rankings coming up in the next hour. Jones Angel will be joining us at 1 o'clock as well for our weekly Tar Heel time. We got a win? We can talk about this this past week.
But Campbell, let's go.
Yeah. Who's a year away from being a year away in the NBA or in the NFL? We're definitely not talking about the NBA.
No.
In the NFL, like who has the longest trip to relevance?
Well, what got me thinking about this was I went back 3 years. All right, so 3 years is when I grade draft classes, and I was just looking at the teams that were picking really high, and I went, it's funny. The teams that picked in the top 10 are almost all good right now. Bottom 10 teams in 2020. Do you want to take a stab at who they were?
No. I mean,
Jaguars,
Jaguars,
I was going to say, that was the Trevor Lawrence year. So
yeah, Jaguars, Lions,
Jaguars were
Jets.
1-15. Lions were 5-11. Jets were 2-14. Falcons, Texans, Eagles, Bengals, Panthers, Broncos, Cowboys. That was your top 10 or bottom 10.
Mm-hmm.
3 of those are 3 of the 4 best teams in the NFL.
Mm-hmm.
And they looked. The Jaguars were dead in the water. They were 5 in our power rankings. What changed with all of those teams? There's one of them that you kind of have to take out. Philadelphia, nah. You had one really bad year. They were killed, if I remember.
Mm-hmm. They all drafted well.
But why did they draft well?
Why?
Jaguars brought in – this was after this. Jaguars brought in Trent Baalke.
Mm-hmm.
That was the first year for the Jets with Joe Douglas. Falcons, Arthur Smith, I guess. Nick Caserio with the Texans.
Terry Fontenot.
And you just keep doing that. So if you have the right guy pulling the strings, you can get there. But how long is it going to take? I told you earlier, the Panthers to me are the furthest team in the NFL away from relevance.
Yep.
I would say the New England Patriots are really close there.
I would agree.
Just because, yes, you have players, That's what really confirms Carolina for me, is that you're 5 players behind New England. Chicago's pretty close.
Yeah.
But they have a handful of players. DJ Moore, Darnell Wright, the guy you took this year, I think he'll be a piece moving forward. You just signed Montez Sweat.
Love Jaquan Brisker. Always got to throw his name in there.
You do have.
Now you have Montez Sweat.
Jaquan Brisker is your defensive Donovan Peoples-Jones.
It's something about Penn State players. It really is. Like, I was this way about Miles Sanders.
Are you a low-key Penn State fan too? So now you got 3 teams that you pull for?
I think so.
Awesome.
Like, I'm going to have one in every
just
every
chuck
conference.
Florida State in there, a couple others.
Screw Florida State.
Completely.
Stop that.
It's okay. They're going to beat you in the college football playoff. We all know it.
Can't wait till it comes crashing to the ground.
Yeah. I've been waiting for it for weeks.
Yeah.
It's a team that
are you at that point now?
Oh,
You're just
God,
counting down the days to the disappointment?
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, the Jets lost Aaron Rodgers 15 seconds into the season. Florida State's the only thing that I have clinging to hope for this to not just be a total loss.
Mm-hmm.
So, of course, something is going to go horribly awry.
Right. The Giants are, I mean, they're a year away from being a year away, but I feel like they're at the high side of that. Although I don't know with the quarterback situation.
I would say you're 2. You're 2 years away. Because they have the pieces. You need Andrew Thomas to come back and be healthy.
Mm-hmm.
You need to be able to slide Evan Neal into guard, so you need another tackle. But they've got pieces up and down that roster. You also need a quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
That kind of went without saying.
Right.
That's what a lot of them have in common, is you hit on the quarterback, much like the Houston Texans. We talked about that roster and how bad it was for years. Weird. You wind up with a quarterback, and all of a sudden that roster doesn't look so bad.
Mm-hmm.
Weapons. We said they had the worst weapons in the NFL. Where would you put them right now? Top 10?
Oh, maybe, yeah.
With Dalton Schultz and Tank Dell, Nico Collins, John Mechie. Didn't even mention Robert Woods. That didn't last long. No.
Is he worth mentioning?
No, he's a really good blocking receiver. That's about all he provides.
You got 2. And you got a young running back that I still believe is going to break out of a slump here, but at some point.
But, I mean, that's how easy it can be.
Mm-hmm.
Because that team looks completely different today than it did even 6 weeks ago.
Yep.
We thought it was fool's gold with C.J. Stroud. It would come crashing back to earth, and it hasn't.
Mm-hmm.
If anything, he's gotten better.
Mm-hmm. Then you go Green Bay, Tampa Bay.
See, to me, Green Bay is 1 quarterback away. That's why I screamed at the top of my lungs, go get Caleb Williams.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's a franchise that is well enough put together that if you throw him out there with all those young weapons, and if I swear to God, if one more person tells me, but the drops, okay. You put a good quarterback in that system, that team is super talented.
Mm-hmm.
They're one of those, to me, that could contend with the Detroit Lions in 1 year. Put Kirk Cousins on that roster, and that's just the first name that came to my mind because I had Minnesota up on the screen.
Right.
Where are you now? 3rd best team in the NFC?
Potentially.
I mean, you need a new defensive coordinator too, but I think that's going to bear itself out.
Of course it will.
Los Angeles Rams are the other one you are light years away.
I don't know about that. I really don't know about that. I mean, they get a couple more draft picks. That's how much I believe in Sean Payton. From being like a Super Bowl contender,
well,
sure, you're years from that.
Sean Payton has nothing to do with the Los Angeles
Sean
Rams.
McVay, you know who I was talking about. I mean, he had
your quarterback's 36 years old.
Right.
Are they bad enough to end up in the top 5 again?
No. Maybe in a year.
Okay, in a year.
Maybe when he's done.
So now you're 2 years away from having that quarterback in place. That's a long way away.
You don't think that's
the line's not good.
Would spend something to well, I mean,
I think they're looking around right now going, oh, you know why nobody in the modern era has ever traded 7 first-round picks in a row? Because of what we're doing right now. Because we're playing guys like, I was trying to think of a bad name on that roster. There are a lot of them. I mean, it looks like an XFL roster.
But are they the team that makes, or one of the teams that makes the play for Kyler Murray? Are they one of the teams?
Well, you're not going to trade him within a division.
Whatever you're willing to give me, I'll listen.
The Rams were my 3.
Okay.
Carolina was dead last on this list, then New England, then the Rams. And I don't really see anybody that's even in their ballpark. I think the Titans 6 weeks ago, I would have had them down here because I felt like they were in that purgatory. Will Levis shows up. Yep. All of a sudden, this whole franchise looks completely different.
Mm-hmm.
It's another. Can I put him on my board of success stories yet?
Who?
Will Levis.
Yeah, I think so.
That wall is.
I mean, it's been
look.
2 games, but we feel like that's one that you can start. Like I remember, The Price is Right had the little guy that went up on the mountain. Like you can start climbing. That mountain with the little yodeler guy.
Cliffhanger.
Yeah.
That was a great game.
It was a great game. You're in the Sportsocracy. ESPN Asheville. I mean, I feel like my Tampa Bay Buccaneers belong in this discussion. I mean, I know that they're competitive for their division right now, but that's a terrible division, and this is getting ready to implode, right? You got Mike Evans is getting ready to leave. They're not going to sign him at the end of the year. They're going to have to blow this thing up. So you're years away. You're 5 years away from probably being.
Which team are you talking about?
My team.
Tampa.
Oh, we deserve to be in this conversation.
I don't know that I agree with you.
Really?
I don't. I mean, you've got a ton of pieces, too. You've got to hold on to them. I mean, in the mock draft, I had you trading up for Drake May. Let's say you do that.
Uh-huh.
You tell me a year from now you're not competitive? You keep Mike Evans. You've got Chris Godwin. You've got all those pieces.
It all depends on who you're going to put around it.
It all depends on your head coach and your offensive line.
Exactly. Who's your GM?
That's an interesting. You and I have gone back and forth about that for an extended period of time. Do you just clean the entire house?
I think you have to. I think you have to clean the entire front office. Just be done with it. Because the only thing Jason Light has to his credit right now is that Bruce Arians fell into his lap, and so did Tom Brady. And without those two things happening, none of this happens, right? You don't win a Super Bowl. Did you hit on a couple of things in the draft? Yeah, a couple. But for the most part, it's been terrible. None of it's worked out. I feel like this is the moment. This is a watershed moment where you go, okay, you know what? It's time to clean house. It's time to start something new. And I don't know where you go from here. But I know it ain't with Todd Bowles.
No.
And it's not with Jason Light. You got to scrub the decks here. And just start completely over. And that puts you highly into this conversation to me.
Do you have anybody else that you think firmly belongs in this conversation?
You're
going to say the Raiders.
Denver Broncos.
Oh, I swear I thought he was going to say the Raiders.
I thought about it while you were talking. I thought I should bring up the Raiders here. But, I mean, no. Most of my problems with the Raiders now have gone with Josh McDaniels. I thought you absolutely crushed that. I have been so wishy-washy about the Las Vegas Raiders because I get so high on their talent, and then it's just like, oh, yeah, this franchise sucks, and they're going to do everything they can to ruin it. Now I'm back to kind of hoping maybe you'll get it right this time. So, no, I don't think. I mean, the Raiders are on the outside of this discussion, but they're not there.
Yeah, they're not there for me.
No.
We had touched on all the ones I had. For me, every other team in the NFL could be competitive in 1 year.
Okay.
All of them.
All right.
And I'm including the Arizona Cardinals in that.
You're in the Sportsocracy. This is ESPN Asheville.
At Ingles, we're proud to sponsor area athletics at all levels. Whether we're building new fields for T-ball, celebrating Friday night rivals, televising college basketball games, bringing the Fan Fest to semi-pro soccer, or taking you out to the ball game at your minor league park. We're here for the fans. No one gets the dedication to the home team like you guys. And we've got all the sports you can handle. It's all in the bag. Ingles. Low prices. Love the savings.
Real estate isn't about properties. It's about people. I'm Clarissa Hyatt-Zach with eXp Realty, your native realtor serving all of Western North Carolina. I will work hard for you, and I believe in doing the right thing every time. I market each of my listings to reach out-of-town buyers. I use a professional photographer and drone video on every single listing, as well as collaborate with agents across the country to find your buyer. Check me out online at clarissasellswnc.com or give me a call at 828-774-6343. It would be my pleasure to assist you through the real estate process.
Welcome your guest into a healthy home this Thanksgiving by calling the cleaning pros at Zero Res Carpet and Air Duct Cleaning. Mention ESPN Asheville and you'll get $30 off your next air duct cleaning. Use promo code AIR30 when scheduling online at ZeroResAsheville.com.
Cullowhee is the place to be on Saturday, November 11th as WCU football takes on ETSU for the Blue Ridge Border Battle. Come cheer on the Catamounts and third-year coach Kerwin Bell as the Catamounts take on the Buccaneers. Advanced ticket sales start at just $16 for adults and $11 for kids. Kickoff is at 1 p.m. at Whitmire Stadium on the beautiful campus of Western Carolina University. For tickets, call CatamountSports.com or call 800-34-GO-WCU. Go Cats!
'Tis the season when you're in the mood for holiday music. Listen live with the iHeartRadio app and on your radio.
97.7 The Brew is Asheville's Christmas station, brought to you by Balkan Roofing and Ingalls Markets.
Hey, what do you want for the holidays?
Ooh, how about new boots? Or a popcorn machine? A sports car, the kind with the cool doors? A trip to Ibiza? Sushi chef? Robot butler?
Skip the guessing game and give a gift that could make any dream come true. With over $85 million in total prizes, new holiday scratch-offs from the North Carolina Education Lottery are on everyone's wish list.
Ship in a bottle, Moose Must Cologne, couples trampoline?
Must be 18 to play. Approximate overall odds of winning range from 1 in 3.06 to 9.95. Problem gambling helpline 877-718-5543.
Looking for an electrician job that has it all? Then join Emery Electric. Competitive pay? Check. A supportive team? Check. A clear path to career growth? Check. Yes, Emery Electric has it all. They offer the best pay rates because Emery Electric values its team. Ready to light up your career? Call Emery Electric at 828-658-8300 or visit emeryelectric.com/careers. That's EMORY electric.com.
Coffee closes on. Get them the money. Then when you get the money, you get the power. That watch costs more than your car. Then when you get the power, then you get the woman.
Thursday night football. It's the Carolina Panthers and the Chicago Bears. It's in Chicago. Bears are a 3-point favorite, over under 38.5. That part's pretty easy. I'm going over 38.5. I don't think either one of these defenses is particularly good, in spite of the fact that neither one of these quarterbacks is all that great either. I could see this being a really positive step for Bryce Young because this is a defense they should be able to pick on. Look for Adam Thielen to have a big night. And I know it's on the road, and Carolina's not good, and I hate taking bad teams on the road, but I'm taking the Panthers. Give them to me in the money line. I was right the first week. I was wrong the second week, but I'm calling for their third. Well, this is the third week in a row that I have called for them to win. It'll only be their second win. In college football, one game of any note tonight. Number 11 Louisville's at home against Virginia. You think NFL football's bad? You turn into that bad boy. You might question if you even like football. Cardinal is a 20.5-point favorite. 50.5 is the over-under. I will go under because I don't think Virginia's going to contribute very much to this score, and I'm taking Louisville minus the 20.5. This is going to be a bloodletting. Louisville has to qualify every chance they get because there still is an outside chance that Louisville could go undefeated, play Florida State in the ACC title game, and sneak into the backside of the playoff. It's a super long shot, but they're the 9th team that's still alive. Take those wagers to betus.com. Use our promo code Sportsocracy. Get up to 125% deposit match and up to 30 risk-free bets so you can wager football with us all season long.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
Record warmth possible. Going to forecast a tie at 78 degrees. That was last set in 2005. Sunshine and a few clouds around this afternoon. Then the change will start rolling in tonight. Thickening clouds late toward midnight, maybe a few showers around 53. Tomorrow, a few scattered showers around 58 degrees, maybe some fog in the morning. Veterans Day, just a slight chance of seeing a little bit of rain, otherwise cloudy and cool 52. Ray Stidgick, the Weather Channel.
Pain in your knees, shoulders, hip, or back that won't go away? Check out QC Kinetics for long-lasting relief. No surgery, drugs, or downtime. QC Kinetics, 828-333-9517. With locations in Asheville and Greenville.
The annoying runny nose, the constant sneezing, the itchiness, and battle just to catch your breath. If you suffer from seasonal allergies, sinusitis, or nagging sinus congestion, there's a natural, easy-to-use solution that can help provide fast, drug-free relief. It's called Navage, and it uses powered suction to rinse your nasal passages in seconds. Millions of people use Navage daily to help provide relief from seasonal allergies and sinus congestion. Medications treat the symptoms, but Navage treats the problem at the source, flushing out the allergens and pollen trapped in your nose. Navage also helps wash out airborne bacteria, dust, dirt, and viruses quickly and painlessly so you can get back to breathing clearly again. Say goodbye to sinus suffering and hello to better breathing with Navage. Navage is available at Walmart, Walgreens, Target, CVS, Rite Aid, and online at Navage.com. Navage, Navage. Clean nose, healthy life.
Gillette Intimate gives guys a gentle and easy shave on there. And around there, and even under there. Don't treat your groin like junk. Respect it with Gillette Intimate, the best a man can get. Buy now at a retailer near you.
From the Ingalls Studios, this is ESPN Asheville, WPEK, W225CJ Fairview, WMXF Waynesville, and iHeart Radio Station.
Unlike other health concerns, mental illness is not always easy to see. Depression won't show up on an eye chart, and you won't find PTSD by looking at a thermometer. Sorting out a mental health concern takes professional diagnosis and treatment. Anxiety won't just go away under a bandage. If you or a loved one has a mental health concern, call 1-800-662-HELP for free and confidential information and treatment referral. Learn more at samhsa.gov/support.
This week in the Buncombe County Game of the Week, it's week 2 of the high school football playoffs, and we've got a great matchup for you. 10-1 Kings Mountain is coming up the mountain to take on 8-3 AC Reynolds. The Rockets are coming off a 45-0 win over North Gaston. The Mountaineers' only loss is to undefeated Crest. We'll get this great matchup started with Sports Tank Friday at 6 o'clock. The Bojangles Countdown to Kickoff show is at 6:30 with a kickoff at 7. The best high school football coverage is on News Radio 570, WWNC, and ESPN Asheville.
Now, your chance to win $1,000. Just enter this nationwide keyword on our website. Win. That's win. Enter it now.
Log on now to ESPNAVL.com. And good luck from your friends at ESPN Asheville.
The Sportsocracy.
It fires me up, man. I love it. Say it one more time.
The Sportsocracy.
Shake it back!
Beer City's best sports talk.
It is gross.
Just earlier.
They are mature, actually. You just have to get to know them better.
Your lunchtime dose of dumbassery. Live from the Ingalls studio.
Back in the Sportsocracy on ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, and 1400. The Sportsocracy heard everywhere on the iHeart Radio app, seen everywhere on YouTube. Go to thesportsocracy.com, click that live video link, subscribe to the channel, join us in the chat. It is a Thursday, so it's really, the kickoff of the football week. Thursday night football tonight.
And we're starting off with a bang.
Yeah, the Carolina Panthers and the Chicago Bears. It's going to be so much fun.
Literally, when the best game of the night is Louisiana Southern Miss, it's a night you should take your wife to dinner.
Or you should catch up on some new shows. You should watch some old stuff.
Clean out your refrigerator.
You could.
I did that yesterday.
Did you really?
I did.
Did you find anything interesting?
Unfortunately.
Ooh.
I haven't. I have a very large refrigerator. Things fall. The shelves don't go all the way back, so things fall in, and I don't see them.
Ew.
Yeah, it wasn't great.
No.
It wasn't great.
No. I hate those. Hate that when that happens. Yeah, you could clean the house, or like I said, you can catch up on some new shows.
Wash your hair.
Right. I can't do that. I can. It just won't take me very long.
Thin, very wispy hair.
Hang on. I'm going to go wash my hair. Be right back. And I'm done. How are you doing?
You've got that invisible hair.
Indeed. College football this weekend is going to be, Well, it's just going to be a whole mess of fun, right?
Have you watched you said college football, but
yeah.
Have you watched a second of college basketball yet?
No.
I don't think you're wrong. Duke plays Arizona tomorrow.
I think you're right. Hang on, I'm efforting. Yes, tomorrow night, 7 o'clock, number 2 Duke, number 12 Arizona. That'll be the first game really worth watching. Right, because the first upset of the season, nobody saw it. No one was watching Michigan State.
Tom Izzo against his nephew.
Yeah.
It's going to make for an uncomfortable Thanksgiving table. Hey, you're not competitive for anything. Would you beat me for it?
You had Presbyterian beating Vanderbilt the other night. Woo! I mean, good for them. The Blue Hose, they needed to win. Right.
The Blue Hose. That's still the...
Is Jerry Stackhouse still the coach at Vanderbilt?
Yes.
You remember those times we were talking, hey, he's the next big coach in the NBA. He won that NBA D-League title with the Raptors.
He still would be.
You think so?
Oh, yeah. If he were to get fired at Vanderbilt, he got fired at Vanderbilt, he'd be an assistant in the NBA in 15 seconds, and he'd be a head coaching candidate in a year.
Okay. It possibly could.
Just because you can't coach in college, you also went to one of the toughest schools in the country to win at.
Sure. Just at some point, maybe you just got to cut that loose and go, you know what, maybe this isn't the best for my career. Maybe I should be moving on to other things.
Vanderbilt's always been one of those places I look at and go, how did you think that was a good idea?
Right, at any point.
We're a really super smart school, and we're going to play in the most competitive conference in all of college sports.
How many times have they been relevant in college basketball in our lifetime?
Handful.
Twice?
Kevin Stallings, they were pretty good under him for a couple years.
Yep. Other than that.
Had a lot of talent. Just never really good teams.
No. But, that happens. That happens to some programs, and, Vanderbilt's just one of those. We got the Asheville Championship coming up this weekend at Harris Cherokee Center, Asheville, proudly brought to you by Ingalls Markets. We got Clemson and UAB and Davidson and Maryland. Davidson, Maryland, the first game tomorrow. You can get tickets now at AshevilleChampionship.com. It's going to be the best action that we've seen at this tournament. I'll be there. I'm going on Sunday to go check out all the things because I'm busy tomorrow night with high school football, which will be on ESPN Asheville and News Radio 570 WWNC tomorrow night. Second round of the playoffs, Reynolds and Kings Mountain. So that'll be fun. We got Bulldogs basketball this weekend. We got the Asheville Championship in town. And then you look at college football and go, oh, wait, there's 2 games that could change everything. Penn State and Michigan, Ole Miss and Georgia.
The Penn State-Michigan line feels really close to me, and I'm not sure why. That's a team that can't score.
I get it, but, I mean, everything that's been going on over there, I don't know. Maybe you don't have your guy calling plays anymore. You don't have the other guy calling out the other team's plays anymore. Maybe things get a little closer, right?
Oh, Connor Stallions.
Mm-hmm.
If I ever start my own OnlyFans, Stallion Connors. That will be my name.
And the way this is being played now is very interesting to me. The whole he's how was it being put earlier today? He was an overzealous fan that started bringing inside information to the football team.
But you still listen to it.
I mean, you didn't know where you were getting the information from or where he was getting his information from. It was just, hey, here's a guy who has a way to tell us where the pressure's coming from. We couldn't figure that out. I don't know how he's got that information.
That's a total lie.
Of course it's a total lie. I'm glad that you saw through it as soon as I said it, because when I heard it, I went, now this is the dumbest thing I've heard so far. At some point, we're to believe that Jim Harbaugh didn't turn around to this guy and go, okay, wait a minute. I'm smarter at football than you are. How do you keep guessing this correctly?
Why is this young man coming to me? And apparently he's the Rain Man of college football because he knows everything everybody's going to do before they do it.
Right.
That, to me, that justification is like somebody you're at the door of a bank. and somebody hands you a gun and you go, I might as well rob it. I mean, I'm here. What else am I going to do with this thing? Put it in my pocket? No. Stephen Tao asked us for a either, neither, both on Jim Harbaugh.
All right.
Suspended, fined, either, neither, both.
Both.
I think the Big Ten's going to try. I don't see any way you can do anything before the season's over. I don't. It's the Michigan sent word to the Big Ten, you're setting a precedent here that you're not going to like.
Mm-hmm.
And I tend to agree with them.
I don't. Why is this a bad precedent?
Because you're accelerating punishments before things are actually adjudicated. I mean, because now I don't believe the explanation you gave me in any way, but do I see a possibility that some information comes out where we go, okay, well, maybe this is not as bad as it sounded? Absolutely.
Yeah, we'll get more into it in just a little bit, but I believe it may be time for Tar Heel time with Jones Angel, voice of the North Carolina Tar Heels. Jones, is that you?
Yeah, Tank, sorry. I was my son fell and hurt his arm at school, so I was trying to deal with all of that, and then I realized, I'm late to call Tank.
Yeah,
so,
no, you're good.
Sorry, I'm a few minutes late. What's up?
Yeah, family comes first, man. I get it. I had to go run and deal with a hurt child myself earlier today, so it's bad luck for you and I in that regard.
Yeah, that's right. Just hope let's everybody wrap up their kids in bubble wrap here for the rest of the day. Make sure they're
there's
okay.
Something in the water, ladies and gentlemen. Our kids are getting fragile. That's for another topic for another day. All right, Jones, let's get into it here. So, hey, we got the win over Campbell in football, so everything's back on track. It's all good. We're going high confidence into the Duke game this weekend.
Yeah, and look, I mean, as we talked about last week, Tank, I think that was a game that certainly Carolina was heavily favored, should have been heavily favored, and Carolina did what it should have done in that game. And it was, give Campbell credit, it was competitive early. They, I thought, came out with a lot of energy and executed well early in that game. But then, Tar Heels scored the final 52 points of the game and win it 59-7, and that is what I think Carolina probably should have done in that game. And so I do think there are some things you can take out of that if you're Carolina. Nearly 90 guys played in the game, and so some of that's good because you just want to get some guys who aren't going to get many opportunities to play, maybe some walk-ons, deep reserves, get them some action, which is always a positive. But also there were some players, Connor Harrell at quarterback and Amari Campbell at linebacker and Chris Culliver at wide receiver, guys who are going to play larger roles for Carolina in the future, to get them some valuable reps and some meaningful snaps, I think was beneficial. And you just needed to see, even understanding the level of competition, you just needed to see Carolina do things right defensively. And I think the first quarter, Tar Heels looked a little sluggish, and I think Campbell gained 109 yards maybe in that first quarter, and then the rest of the game they gained like 175 or something like that. And so to see that defense really play well as that game went on, both the starters and then even as Carolina got deeper into the reserves, I thought they did some things that were just fundamentally sound, correct things to do that you hope can carry over to when the competition level goes up this week. Now, for Duke, certainly we understand a lot of emotion in this game, rivalry game, 110th meeting between these two, 75th anniversary of the victory bell, and it will be an intense matchup. You understand all those things. For Carolina, Tank, to me, what this game and the final three games all come down to is, can Carolina stop the run? And if Carolina can stop the run, I think that they have a chance to be successful in every one of these games. Now, can they win a shootout? Yes, they can. But these defenses for Duke and then Clemson and then NC State, these will be the best three defenses Carolina's seen all year. So while I think Carolina's offense is elite, and I think it's one of the best in the country, you can't bank on Drake May and Tez Walker and Amari Hampton putting up 49 points, and that's just because the competition level is that good. And so you've got to be able particularly with Duke likely playing with a backup quarterback. You've got to be able to stop that running attack from the Blue Devils, and that'll be a storyline, I think, Saturday and moving forward.
Yeah. Yay, another Grayson. Which makes it easy, right? When a Duke guy throws a Grayson at you, it's easy to be against that guy. Grayson Loftus is the quarterback you were talking about. What's the game plan like for this guy?
Yeah, so he started. He had played a couple games in mop-up duty earlier in the year, and true freshman, and got the start against Wake Forest last week and went the whole time. And quite honestly, didn't have great numbers. I mean, he was 7 of 19, 86 yards, had a touchdown and an interception in the game. But I will say, as that game went on, he definitely looked more comfortable and made a couple of big throws. His touchdown throw was an important one. It came in the fourth quarter to tie things up on a nice pass from, I'll say, 30, 40 yards out. So he did make some better plays as the game went on. But Duke is not going to try and win off the arm of Grayson Loftus. Duke is going to try and run the football, play great defense, and win the field position battle, and they have one of the best punters. In fact, statistically, they have the best punter in the ACC in Porter Wilson. And to me, that's what their game plan will be. Run it, punt it if you need to, and rely on that really good defense to keep Carolina down. And what that defense has done really well, Tank, all year long, is it is really opportunistic, and it really answers the moment. So it seems like game in and game out, when Duke's defense has needed a turnover, it gets it. When it needs a red zone fourth down stop, it gets it. When it needs to block a kick, it gets it. They have done a really good job in making the plays when it matters most. And they're old, they're experienced, they're physical, they're really good. And so not that Grayson Loftus is incapable of playing good football, because obviously if you get a scholarship to a D1 school, you can play. But he's not what they want to rely on in this game. They want to rely on other things that are their strengths. And Carolina, of course, you flip that around, you want to get a multi-score lead. You want to make them have to throw the football. You want to make it so that he has to go out there and make plays. And if he does, then he does. But that's where you feel like you have an advantage, at least going in.
All right, Tar Heels and the Duke Blue Devils, 8 o'clock start at Kenan Stadium on Saturday night. The coverage will begin on ESPN Asheville at 7 o'clock. Tar Heels back in the top 25, number 24 in this week's college football playoff ranking. So, the win over Campbell really boosted you.
Yeah, isn't that silly, Tank? That's how those rankings, right? I mean, and obviously I understand the importance of them, but to somehow suggest that Tar Heels weren't a top 25 team, but then when they beat Campbell by 52, now they are. Right. I mean, it's kind of silly.
It's almost like that backhanded compliment from Grandma. Yeah. It was just you were good enough today. Here, you can get back in our poll. You can be. That's
right, and it comes down to this. This season will be remembered for Carolina about what happens here over the next 3 weeks.
Yes.
Can Carolina change the narrative of the struggles they had down the stretch a year ago? And can they, against some really high-level and local competition, can they step up to the plate? Because honestly, Tank, I think Carolina has the ability to win all 3 of these games. Carolina can lose all 3 of these games. And so it really comes down to can they answer the proverbial bell here over these final 3 weeks? And do you have a great season, or do you have a pretty good season? And that's where that's what is hanging in the balance here over these final 3 weeks of the regular year.
All right, Jones, you still got some time here. Can we hang in?
Sure, yeah, absolutely.
Basketball? All right, I just didn't want to keep it too long. Let's talk some basketball. We had the first game of the season in the books, had a win against Radford. It got to a little, I don't know if you want to call it a rocky start, just kind of, playing with them, letting them shoot 50% from the floor in the first half, and then in the second half, just the depth kind of took over. Defense kind of stood up a little bit, and the Tar Heels came away with a 16-point win over a Big South team to start out.
Yeah, I thought that's one of those, Tank, where I think if you just look at the final score, you may think, ooh, boy, was this too close. But if you watch the game, I thought Carolina played some good basketball. And credit to Radford. I mean, they made some tough shots in the first half. I think Carolina's defense wasn't as good as it wanted to be in that first half, allowed too many shots around the rim. But I think Radford's a decent team, and certainly a team that's going to have a chance to win its conference, and had some good athleticism out there. But to me, the major storyline leaving that game was just how different Carolina was than it was a year ago. And of course, we all knew the personnel was dramatically different. But it's more in just the style of play and the level of enjoyment I think that you got watching them. Last year was disappointing and frustrating because Carolina didn't win as much as it wanted to, but it also just got to the point, Take, where it wasn't much fun, and it just wasn't much fun watching Carolina play. And we're talking one game here, but I'm going to tell you it's been the same way in practice. This group competes. Mm-hmm. This group shares the basketball. This group plays with pace. They try to go inside. They'll pass up a good shot for a great shot. All the things that I think you think of when you think of Carolina basketball. Right. And I don't think that was present as much as the Tar Heels wanted it to be a year ago. And I think you saw much more of that on Monday night. And even in the stretch, Tank, in the first half, where Carolina got a little sloppy and had a bunch of turnovers, like they had like 6 turnovers in 5 minutes or 6 minutes. But it was they were turning it over because they were trying to make something happen. It was, trying to make an entry pass or trying to push it ahead in the fast break. It wasn't shot clock violations and a guy cutting the wrong way and just not being fully engaged, and so somebody throws it out of bounds. Or so it wasn't sloppy or messy. It was a turnover of aggression. And so again, to me, that was the story. All the things that Carolina wanted to get back to, it looked like they got back to, and eventually won the game relatively handily. And they'll try to build off of that. The defense needs to be better than it was in the first half. I think it was in the second half. But a lot of the other things that happened on Monday night are things I think that should make you excited to be a Tar Heel fan. And I'll finish that by saying I'm not trying to act like Carolina's some kind of scrappy underdog and it's like, oh, look at them trying so hard out there. Obviously, Carolina's got good players, but I think with the way that those quality players play together, give you some excitement, because I think this is a team that can compete in the ACC at the very top of the conference.
Yeah, I don't care where you're ranked. You're never coming in as the scrappy little underdog when you have that name on your chest. It's it's just never going to happen. You got Tar Heels. Sunday you guys are going to be doing the game against Lehigh.
Yeah, it's a busy weekend. So Saturday night football, it's 8 o'clock, another late kick. And then we'll be on the air at 7 for that one. And then a fast turnaround, Tar Heels hosting Lehigh in at the Smith Center. Lehigh picked second in the Patriot League, I think. They lost their opening game to Cornell. They play Penn State on Friday night and then make the quick trip to Chapel Hill. So certainly a game that Carolina's going to be favored, a game that you would assume the Tar Heels have a high chance of success in, or have a high chance to have success in. But for Carolina, Tank, especially with the schedule that awaits them, I think these couple of games early, this Lehigh game coming up, the UC Riverside game coming up next Friday, these are games that are important for Carolina to get some work together, because remember, this is a very new group. So to get some work together on the floor to improve, because the schedule ramps up in a dramatic way here very soon, and that hurt Carolina last year. I think that stretch in late November, early December last year set the tone for the Tar Heels for the whole season and dug them a hole that they just couldn't quite get out of even as the year went through ACC play. So an important couple games here for Carolina, I think, to fine-tune their craft before you start seeing top 25 teams almost every single game on your schedule.
Yeah, well, they're definitely going to be tested in that stretch with games against Tennessee, UConn, and Kentucky. So yeah, the talent and the opponent level is going to jump up here real soon. Jones, we always appreciate you taking out the time for us. Best of luck to your kid. Hope he gets to feeling better, and we'll talk to you next week.
Appreciate it again. Sorry to be a few minutes late, but look forward to talking with you next week.
Yep. You're in the Sportsocracy. This is ESPN Asheville.
A Christmas tradition is back. The Asheville Holiday Parade, presented by Bojangles, is Saturday, November the 18th at 11 a.m. in downtown Asheville. This year's theme is the Snow Globe and also features a onesie one-miler race along the parade route starting at 10:30. After the parade, families can make their way to the Restoration Hotel for free photos with Santa from 2 to 4 p.m. But you can't have a holiday parade without great volunteers. If you'd like to volunteer, go to AshevilleDowntown.org. Proudly sponsored by iHeartMedia, Asheville.
Get big savings and big rewards during Provember. Save $80 on a DeWalt 20-volt 2-tool combo kit and earn 3 times the bonus points. While supplies last, selection varies by location. Bonus points calculated before taxes and fees after applicable discounts, if any. Valid through 11/22, subject to change.
Hey, what do you want for the holidays?
Ooh, how about new boots? Or a popcorn machine? A sports car, the kind with the cool doors? A trip to Ibiza? Sushi chef? Robot butler?
Skip the guessing game and give a gift that could make any dream come true. With over $85 million in total prizes, new holiday scratch-offs from the North Carolina Education Lottery are on everyone's wish list.
Ship in a bottle, Moose Muss Cologne, couples trampoline.
Must be 18 to play. Approximate overall odds of winning range from 1 in 3.06 to 9.95. Problem gambling helpline 877-718-5543.
It is Ryan here reminding you to check out the insane, amazing wireless offer out right now from Boost Infinite. Just pick up your phone, dial pound 250 and say Boost Infinite. You'll have the option to receive a one-time auto dial text message from iHeartMedia.
Save on stuff you really need and stuff you bought for fun. Stuff you've always really wanted this holiday at Amazon. Stuff that is discounted if you're naughty or you're nice. Stuff to buy your grandma who drinks her Chardonnay with ice. Stuff to make you big and strong. Stuff we can't name in this song. Stuff for lawns and decking halls. Save big on stuff at Amazon. Stuff.
Macy's holiday deals are going on now. Don't miss great savings on everything you need, from hosting essentials to gifts they'll love. Like 40% off designer handbags, perfect for any outfit. 50 to 60% off designer suit updates for him. And get 60% off warm winter bedding for you and your guests. Plus, download the app for even more great holiday deals at Macy's. Savings off sale and clearance prices. Exclusions apply.
The Sportsocracy.
Pull up your pants, take off the bra, and be a man!
We're back in the Sportsocracy on ESPN Asheville. College football playoff power rankings. It's time to do those. We missed those yesterday since we were away. Did you get your relaxing day in that you were all keying up for? Did that happen or no? Was it?
What do you think? Do I look relaxed right now?
Not really. Not really.
Do I look like a man that's wound tighter than a banjo string?
You kind of do.
I am. I is.
Yeah. I'm sorry for that. I really try to mention things to you to deal with your stress level, and you rebuke me at all.
I'm just gonna die. I've realized that you cross a certain threshold where you've been wound so tight for so long that you can't unwind, and you just go, well, that's a shame.
Meditative breathing, or try some yoga.
Do I look like a yogi?
No, you don't. No. You definitely could use it.
No. I don't want to be in a room with those people. Like deep cleansing, breath.
Do that by yourself somewhere. There's YouTube videos you can follow.
The downward facing dingus.
Nobody wants to see that.
I'll pass.
No,
Okay.
no, thank you. Nobody wants to see that.
Yeah, I'm good. I don't need any of that. I mean, if it's good for
Go
you.
for a nice soothing massage, but you can't stand for strangers to touch you.
Yeah, here's how a soothing massage would go for me. You're not touching me. I'll throw you through that window right there. No, sir. And I'm going to pay you to do it? Are you out of your mind?
All the stress is too much. If you've got a suggestion for how Jeremy can deal with his stress more healthily than 87 Peebers.
I wouldn't drink a Peeber. Domestic lights. Yeah, that's
it's just as gross. It's all the same.
Oh, no, it's not just as gross. I actually am going to try to see how long I can go without consuming a domestic light or alcohol of any kind.
Starting when?
Today.
Starting today.
Mm-hmm.
Have you removed all temptation from the house?
It's not really a temptation for me. It's more of I'm curious how much weight I could lose between now and Christmas.
Okay.
Because the little gut makes me nervous.
Is this a wager that should be, and this is to everybody, is this a wager that should be on the hours or days scale?
Oh, it's days.
Like, should we go, I don't know, part of me thinks like there's going to be a point like tonight during Carolina Panthers and Chicago Bears. He's going to look at it, he's going to go, nah, I need a beer.
I won't watch second. I haven't had a beer in 2 months.
No.
Straight
a
boozes.
beer.
I haven't had a beer.
He hasn't had a beer
since I switched to keto. I haven't had a beer of any kind.
Yes,
I've actually been giving them to Brian Haynes, going, "Hey, I found this in the fridge. You drink it," and he does.
Mm-hmm. That doesn't mean he hasn't been drinking. He just
No, I didn't say that.
We just haven't been drinking beer.
Yeah, now I'm going to try to consume nothing, like just no boozes.
Good for you. That'll help. That'll really help.
Or it will be the end, and bad things are going to transpire. I'm going to yell at poodles.
Nobody said we wouldn't break a little egg, right? You're in the Sportsocracy. This is ESPN Asheville.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
Record warmth possible. Going to forecast a tie at 78 degrees. That was last set in 2005. Sunshine and a few clouds around this afternoon. Then the change will start rolling in tonight. Thickening clouds late toward midnight, maybe a few showers around 53. Tomorrow, a few scattered showers around 58 degrees, maybe some fog in the morning. Veterans Day, just a slight chance of seeing a little bit of rain, otherwise cloudy and cool 52. Ray Stidgick, the Weather Channel.
This report is sponsored by Lowe's. Get big savings and big rewards during Provember. Save $80 on a DeWalt 20-volt 2-tool combo kit and earn 3 times the bonus points. While supplies last, selection varies by location. Bonus points calculated before taxes and fees after applicable discounts, if any. Valid through 11/22, subject to change.
Nothing says welcome home like insanely clean carpets from Zero Res Carpet and Air Duct Cleaning. For a limited time, get 3 rooms clean for only $129 when you mention ESPN Asheville. Easily schedule your cleaning online at ZeroResAsheville.com.
The Asheville Championship returns to Harrah's Cherokee Center in Asheville November 10th and 12th. This year's field is the best yet. The Clemson Tigers, Maryland Terrapins, Davidson Wildcats, and the Blazers of UAB. 4 exciting matchups with a champion to be crowned at one of the premier early season tournaments in college basketball. For more information and to get your tickets, go to AshevilleChampionship.com. That's AshevilleChampionship.com. It all starts in Asheville November 10th and 12th. Proudly sponsored by Ingalls Markets.
Are you a business owner, CEO, or responsible for marketing? If you are, iHeartMedia can help you reach your goals and find new customers. We reach more consumers in your target area than anyone else. And we can give you access to those potential customers more cost-effectively across radio, digital, podcasting, and social. We'd love to show you how iHeartMedia can work for you. From your cell, dial pound 250 and say keyword great results. That's pound 250 and say great results.
Why is iHeartRadio the #1 streaming radio app? Free music.
Free live radio stations from all over the country.
Free podcasts.
Free playlists.
Free contests. Free artist radio stations.
Commercial-free stations. It's free. I love iHeartRadio. Join the millions of music, radio, and podcast fans on the #1 streaming radio app now.
iHeartRadio.
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 Free never sounded so good.
If cleanliness is next to godliness, look around the car right now. Is that very godly? Look, life comes at you fast, but so does WBNC Auto Detailing. They have the tools to make your interior look like it's coming off the showroom floor. You don't believe me? Check them out on Instagram. All that filth and years of stains disappear. WBNC Auto Detailing does full interior and exterior details with paint correction, and they do wax and ceramic coatings. Call WBNC Auto Detailing at 455-3700. Premium care with a Southern hospitality touch.
I believe real estate isn't about properties. It's about people. I'm Clarissa Hyatt-Zach with eXp Realty, serving all of Western North Carolina. Navigating the home buying and selling journey can feel overwhelming at times, and that's why having an agent who cares about you and your needs is key. I'm a native of Western North Carolina, and I close over a home a week. I'm an expert in the market, pricing my sellers correctly to net you the most money, and working as a skilled negotiator for my buyers. Please give me a call today at 828-774-6343 to set up a complimentary market analysis.
On the weird scale, there's Vegas, there's Florida, and there's Asheville. Let's get weird, Asheville.
All right, Jeremy, this is a whopper.
That's could say the same thing about my story, potentially.
Oh, no.
I don't know. I didn't watch the video, but
Canada apparently makes them big.
I don't like where this story's headed.
There's a big old biggin. New hospital record set up in Canada. If you're a parent, you are a mother, or you have a wife who has given birth, you're gonna feel all of this one. Late last month, Brittany Ayers welcomed her new son into the world. 14-pound, 8-ounce, 21.65 incher.
That's a very large baby.
That is a massive baby. That is more than double the size of the average infant, newborn infant. Broke every hospital record since 2010.
I don't think that's a record you want to win.
This story made me just cringe. Like, I got that terrified look on my face as I'm reading about this until I got to the line that said, Sonny, who was delivered by cesarean sex. Okay, good. Because I was thinking this was going to take the largest of Canadian women to have suffered through the natural birth of a 14.5-pound baby boy. They've got a picture of the entire family. These people are very busy. In Canada, apparently the number one, time occupier is making children. They have 4 other kids. Chance, who's 6, Everett, who's 5, Lucky, you have a kid named Lucky, 3, and Marigold, their youngest, 1. The baby's bigger than the 1-year-old. The baby is bigger than their 1-year-old. Good for him, though. Wow.
It's a big
But
child.
Apparently this woman has large babies, because even the last 2 were both over 13 pounds.
I actually know, it's a friend of Amy, and she has 3, and I think the smallest child she had was 10 pounds at birth.
Jeez. I want to see the birth picture of Marigold here, because she doesn't look much bigger than she was at birth, if she was 13 pounds at birth. Anyhow, God, love that woman.
My story is about an Australian OnlyFans content creator. Her name is Danny DeBello. And one of the things that she is known for...
Playing the Penguin in Batman.
No. That's Danny DeVito.
Oh.
Who is now playing quarterback for the New York Giants. She has a friend. The friend's name's Betty. Betty appears in many of her OnlyFans content. Who is Betty, you ask? That is her 13-foot python. It's a very big snake. And over the weekend, she was recording new stuff for her OnlyFans. And she had a male friend. I'm trying to tell this story very cautiously, but I got to give all the information or it's not going to make sense.
Uh-huh.
Well, the male friend decided to get in the shower. but said wanted to hold the snake after he reclothed himself. Well, apparently he forgot a step because Betty bit him on the on it. That is not a good day. The thing that really bothers me the most is so she recorded a video, she put it on Instagram. She is off camera, and you hear just a blood-curdling scream from the other room, off camera, if you will. The first question she asked was, did the snake lose any teeth? Listen, Danny, I don't know, and I don't care. That's not the most pressing of matters at the moment.
No! Your pet just gave me an involuntary Prince Albert. What's going on here, man?
I have been I've been recircumcised at 30 years old, and I don't like that. What is that? I don't understand people in snakes. What is the allure?
They're cool.
No, they're not.
Yes, they are.
They're belts. That's what they are.
Snakes are cool.
Not to me, they're not.
Just dangerous.
There are a lot of things in life that are cool. Snake's never been one of them. And every time I hear a story like this, they become a little less cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. Bad.
Let's not do that.
Bad. Get a dog, okay? The dog does tricks. It'll fetch a stick and not the way that Betty did. So that was funny, and you didn't laugh at it, and that makes me sad. If you didn't laugh, nobody else did. This whole day's stupid. I'm ready to go home.
Oh, shoot.
Oh, shoot.
All right, let's get into the college football playoff power rankings for this week. The College Football Playoff Committee decided nothing changed over the weekend.
That was what I originally said was going to happen.
I thought surely some shakeup would occur, but they didn't. They left everybody where they're at. Ohio State, still with the best resume, left them at 1. Did not decide to move Georgia up despite adding a top 12 win. Didn't decide to move Washington up despite their top 20 win.
Well, I mean, you said Washington could jump Florida State, and I guess I would have understood that, but schedule for schedule, you can't compare the two.
No.
And Florida State's still got the better strength of record. They've still got the better strength of schedule. I think that just bears itself out. My top 13
but Washington's got the better win. So
they've got a better win.
Right.
And then I would say 2, 3, and 4 all belong to Florida State. And I don't know that one is that much better. I still think pretty highly of LSU, even though they have 3 losses. I think it's a good team. It's a good team. Can't stop anybody.
Yeah.
But it's still a prolific offense.
Sure. So did anything change for you this week?
Not really. My top 10 is all completely the same from last week.
Absolutely the same. Still got.
I mean, nobody lost. Everybody took care of business. It's the reason it didn't get the full hour or the full half hour like it usually does.
Right.
Hey, go back and watch Wednesday's show from last week, and yeah, what I said then. This is the week that things will shake up because you got Ole Miss, Georgia, and if what I think is going to happen in that game happens, then you get to a certain point where you just look at Georgia and go, are any of these teams actually good, or are they just SEC good? Which is not great this year. Like, do you think Ole Miss is a really, really good team?
They're a good offensive team. I mean, I don't know about the rest of it. I mean, are they the 10th best team in the country? Maybe, but that's in a year when there are no great teams, right?
Well, I mean, that's the problem for me, is that there is a separation after 8 that I look at all of those teams and just go, are any of you any good? I don't think Ole Miss is particularly good. They haven't really beaten anybody of much note. You beat LSU in a shootout. You just so happen to have the ball last. Other than that, your next best win is Tulane or Texas A&M, who is horrific offensively. I mean, that's not overly impressive to me.
No.
This is just one of those years that I feel like it's going to sort out as you'll have 4 conference champions. That's who's going to play. And for once, I don't really even have a lean as to how that will go. I don't think Georgia is overwhelmingly better than Florida State, Washington, Oregon, I don't want to put Ohio State in that, but I'm getting to the point that I have to.
Do you? Do you have to put them there?
Well, if you take the quarterback out, then they belong there.
Oh, absolutely.
They have the best weapon in the country.
Absolutely. But I look at them in that sense that we're now looking at the Dallas Cowboys and Tua. We talked about it on Monday of you have one big problem that when it comes to the end of the game, I don't think that guy can win you a game. It comes down to the end of it. And Kyle McCord has to lead the 75-yard drive to get you the game-winning field goal. Same position you were in last year against Georgia in the college football playoff. You got to have a guy to make the plays. C.J. Stroud killed Georgia in that game. They should have won that game. He got them in range to kick the game-winning field goal, and they missed it.
You know, you just made a comparison that I've never thought of that. There's a lot of similarities between the Dallas Cowboys and the Ohio State Buckeyes.
Mm-hmm.
They're always competitive.
Mm-hmm.
I'd never thought of that until you just said it.
The only problem is Ohio State actually does win every decade or so.
How many national championships does Ohio State have?
Well, I got 3.
They have 2 since 1970.
Really? I thought it was more than that.
Yeah. AP National Championship in 2022, and then the one that Urban Meyer won in 2014.
Okay. Oh, that's right, No, they won one. No, they didn't.
No, they didn't.
Early 2000s, they didn't win one?
2002. I said that.
Yeah.
2002, 2014.
Huh.
I didn't know that until just now.
Huh. Okay. I thought it would be more than that.
I would have thought the same.
They've competed for more than that. They've been in the playoffs several times, but have come up short other than that. Still win more than the Dallas Cowboys, though. And your fans are just as crazy.
Well, I mean, if you go back to the 70s, then no, they really don't, which is what I just did. They both have a stretch where, I mean, Ohio State's was longer in tenure because you had 12 years between the titles.
Mm-hmm.
Cowboys had that run in the 90s. And outside of that, you've been around, but you never got to the top of the mountain.
You never even played for the top of the mountain.
Yeah, that's true.
That's the problem.
Yeah, that's true.
The problem is you keep getting into the playoffs and either lose in the first round of the playoffs or second round of the playoffs. Have not played for a championship in your own conference since 1996.
But
That's
those are
bad.
But those are both super glamour institutions in sports that just haven't been to the top of the mountain much in the last many, many, many years.
But always think it's our year.
Which I'm just this is a total aside, and it just came to my mind with the way you looked at me there.
Mm-hmm.
Which would you rather have? The Georgia run where you're at right now, where you were damn near irrelevant for the first 20 years of my life, first 25 years of my life. I was born in 87.
Yeah.
You won absolutely nothing there. But you have a 3-year stretch where you are the best program in the country. Or Ohio State where you've always been good, but you only have 2 national titles.
Yeah, well, I mean, Georgia's not just new kid on the block. I mean, they've been around for a long time. I mean, in the Mark Richt years, they were number 1 in the country, just never played for the national title. They were in contention.
Because they always lost that game.
Mm-hmm.
But you what I'm saying is you didn't play for a national title, and before the Mark Richt years, you were completely irrelevant.
Mm-hmm.
You were the 7th best team in the SEC at best.
Yeah.
So which would you prefer to have?
Speaking from a Tampa Bay Buccaneers fan who's been irrelevant my entire existence except for twice, I'll take the winning.
I'll
take the winning. I if I can celebrate a championship every now and then, I'm completely fine being 4-12 most of the time, or whatever that works out to.
Yeah, coming from a Jets fan, you know what's really bad? When you just suck forever. Like it's just, hey, 4 weeks into the season, we're looking at next year. That's bleak.
Right.
I think I would sign up for the Ohio State side of that. I want to always be good. That's like Baltimore Raven football.
Yeah, but then you got to be good at building your team, because then you just end up being the team that you hate, right? The team that's just barely there. Well, why are you? You can't win it. Why are you just hanging on?
Yeah, but you've been competitive and in the playoffs every single year.
Mm-hmm.
There's an allure to
like
that.
The Dallas Cowboys.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
And you'd be cool with that. Just
Tank,
one and done
Tank,
every year?
I'm a Jets fan.
Mm-hmm.
At this point, I'm starting to think Jet playoff tickets don't actually exist. It was a mirage that I didn't. I mean, I saw it and I lived it, but it's almost like deja vu of every single year. Oh, there it went.
Mm-hmm. I guess it's a bad time to be a Jets fan.
It's a bad time to just be a fan of anything I like.
Except for the Denver Nuggets?
Yeah, they're 8-1. They're good at
Denver
basketball.
Nuggets are pretty good.
Yeah.
They won last night.
Sweet. Yeah, in the sport that I don't in any way care about.
Jamal Murray's hurt again, though.
Of course he is.
That stinks.
Because we talk about your kiss of death. Me liking your franchise is a kiss of death.
Nah. You're reversing the curse, right? You jumped on the Nuggets. They won within 3 years. Your Jets might win soon. You never know. Maybe that's it. Maybe you're like the Boston Red Sox, right? Can only win a championship when you change managers. You can only win a title when you change teams. So you have to change from the Jets to win a title. Change the Jets fandom. Go join up with the Cleveland Browns.
Nope.
And then they'll win something.
No.
Jacksonville Jaguars.
Out.
Come on, Trevor Lawrence. You love him.
Mm-mm.
No.
No, there's one team that I love and 31 teams that I differently hate. Actually, it's not even hate now that I cover the sport for a living. It's just differently indifferent, too.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people think I hate their team. I don't hate your team. I'm just being honest.
Yeah.
You're biased, and I'm not.
Yeah. You should jump on the Washington bandwagon in college football. They'll win a title with Kalen DeBoer.
Yeah, I'm good.
You hate all of these ideas.
Oh, yeah, I'm not. I'm not like you. I don't have I cheer for Georgia in football. I got Carolina in basketball. I low-key love Penn State and Florida State and Ohio State and all the states. Just I really want to have a good swath of coverage here to make sure that I'm always happy. Yeah, I don't do that. No, I like having a reason to be angry.
I was going to say.
And the Jets always give me that.
You look for the reason to hate life. And see, I'm always looking for the bright side. And if my team can't give me the bright side, I'm going to find another one. I can at least adopt for a minute. And
that's
go,
called
hey,
bandwagon, and I am good.
And you're also very angry.
I am angry. I'm an angry man.
Yeah. 7 days. I'm taking 7 days.
No boozes?
Make it a week without the boozes.
Oh, challenge accepted. Challenge accepted, and Amy will be HWA will be my accountability buddy.
You're in the Sportsocracy. This is ESPN Asheville. Coming up next, Jeremy, you got a parlay for tonight?
I do.
All right, we're going to get 5 on it next. The best season of the year is here.
Tailgate season.
Monster Brewing presents this season's MVP.
The Beast Unleashed.
With 4 bold, familiar flavors.
With 0 caffeine and 0 sugar.
Beast Unleashed is your new pregame ritual.
With White Haze, Mean Green, Peach Perfect, and Scary Berries, there's a flavor for every fan. The Beast Unleashed.
6% alcohol by volume. Unleashed responsibly. Must be 21 or over. Beast Unleashed. Available at your local retailer.
Running a small business is no small task. At Home Trust Bank, we work hard to prepare businesses for whatever tomorrow may bring. Your dreams are our business, and we have local experts who can help you plan for a successful future. Dependable guidance you need, and service you'll appreciate. At Home Trust Bank, we take your small business banking personally. Visit your local Home Trust branch or anytime at htb.com. Member FDIC.
Join the Asheville Symphony Saturday, November 18th for an all-American concert featuring Copeland's Lincoln Portrait with narrator Brian Terrell Clark, known best as Hamilton's George Washington on Broadway, the newly commissioned Cold Mountain Suite by Jennifer Higdon, and more. Don't miss the 3rd Masterworks concert, American Portraits, Saturday, November 18th, 2 p.m. and 8 p.m. Tickets on sale now at AshevilleSymphony.org, by phone at 828-254-7046, or at the Asheville Symphony box office at 27 College Place.
It's Ryan Seacrest here. Check this out. With Boost Infinite, you get the latest iPhone every year and unlimited wireless for just $60 a month. You get the new titanium iPhone 15 Pro that was just announced. Then next year, you get the latest iPhone, and this keeps happening every year. It's Boost Infinite. Infinitely better. To switch today or learn more, pick up your phone, dial pound 250, and say Boost Infinite.
Terms apply. After 30 gigabytes, service may be slow. Receive a comparable iPhone model each year with an acceptable trade-in every year. Requires credit qualification and 36-month phone financing agreement. You'll have the option to receive a one-time auto-dial text message from iHeartMedia.
The last thing you need on the way to the game is a flat tire. Ensure that you'll make the game on time with new tires from Black Mountain Tire Connection. With 22 years of experience serving the East Asheville area, Black Mountain Tire Connection offers all major tire brands. Black Mountain Tire Connection keeps you running with tire and auto service, including alignments, brakes, state inspections, oil changes, and minor repairs. Schedule service now at blackmountaintire.com.
When seasonal allergies and clogged sinuses make you miserable, you want fast relief. But recently, there's confusion about which cold and allergy products work and which ones don't. In fact, oral phenylephrine, a drug found in many oral decongestants in the cold and allergy aisle, is currently being evaluated by the FDA because it may be ineffective. Luckily, there's a drug-free solution called Navage that for many provides on-the-spot relief. Navage is the natural way to relieve congestion by sucking out the allergens, germs, and mucus that can make you stuffy and miserable. Nasal irrigation works, and Navage makes it quick and easy, but more than anything, it helps you breathe better. Navage uses powered suction to pull saline in one nostril, around the back of the nose, and out the other nostril. Trust drug-free Navage so you can breathe better, snore less, and feel healthier. Ask for Navage at Walmart, Walgreens, CVS, Rite Aid, Target, or find us online at Navage.com. Navage, N-A-V-A-G-E, clean nose, healthy life.
It's parlay time, and I'm going to hit one of these one day, and you want to be on board. Now, you may spend yourself into the poorhouse trying to get to that win, but that win will be very sweet. And the one tonight pays $761. I told you in the first hour I'm taking the Carolina Panthers in the money line tonight over the 38, and I'll go DJ Moore anytime touchdown scorer. If you want to just take those three and parlay that pays 10-1. So you put 5 on that, pays $50, and I do like that. But you know me, I'm not here to hit singles. I want home runs. So I'm parlaying the college games too. Louisville minus the 20.5. At home against Virginia. Every time I say that out loud, that looks like the easiest game in the history of time because Virginia can't score. Louisville's really good. Nobody talks about them because they're not very sexy, but they're really, really good. I will go under the 50 because I don't think Virginia will be able to score. Then I'm taking Southern Miss at Louisiana. I'm taking Louisiana minus the 9, under the 52.5. You take all those. 7-leg parlay gets to plus 15,000.
Wow.
You put 5 on it the same way I am. If I'm right, pay $760.91. You can take those wagers to betus.com. Use our promo code Sportsocracy to get a 125% deposit match and up to 30 risk-free wagers so you can wager football with us all season long.
All right, we got the daily draft coming up after the top of the hour. Also, it is Threadbare Thursday, so get your comments into the YouTube comment stream. And we will we'll get to all those.
Danny Finsfan said that the daily draft today we should draft what would you rather do than watch this game tonight?
Oh.
I broke my thumbnail, so I only have half of a thumbnail right now, and I would rather medicate it with Tabasco sauce.
That's bad. That's bad.
I would rather bleach my hair blonde and start a Billy Idol tribute band.
That's a good one. I'm actually going to watch the game, so I can't really think of anything. I mean, there are a lot of things I'd rather be doing, but none of them are going to be funny.
I'm
actually going to spend time watching.
I would rather be the spritzer in the next Danny DeBello OnlyFans shoot and have to hold her snake. I didn't think about it. I literally just saw his comment, so these are all off the top of my head.
That's good. That's good. You're doing well. Doing well.
I would rather write songs for Taylor Swift that she tried out on me.
Quinn Ewers going to be starting for Texas this
I would
week.
rather
That
take
was
a
brought-
job as the personal groomer for Brian Haynes.
No, you wouldn't. I could.
Yeah,
Nah.
that might be the line.
Yeah, no, you definitely wouldn't. Still haven't gone in that bathroom yet, have you?
The man has the cleanest bathroom in the history of time.
Are you serious?
Swear to God,
There's
it's the cleanest
no
bathroom
way.
I've ever seen.
There is absolutely no way. He's got somebody that comes in and cleans that up for him.
Patrick
because-
Holt said, "I'd rather listen to Creed." Now, you stop that. Creed is the unifying voice of the nation, and you know it. They've already got a World Series. They're unifying the Minnesota Vikings to a playoff run. And frankly, I already see it in the offing that whoever runs for president on the Republican side, that's going to be their song. I can take you higher. It sounded great playing behind, Nikki Haley.
You're in the Sportsocracy, and this is ESPN Asheville.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
Record warmth possible. Going to forecast a tie at 78 degrees. That was last set in 2005. Sunshine and a few clouds around this afternoon. Then the change will start rolling in tonight. Thickening clouds late toward midnight. Maybe a few showers around 53. Tomorrow, a few scattered showers around 58 degrees, maybe some fog in the morning. Veterans Day, just a slight chance of seeing a little bit of rain. Otherwise cloudy and cool 52. Ray Stidgick, the Weather Channel.
Some intimate parts need the gentle, easy trim of a Gillette trimmer. And some need the closeness and comfort of a Gillette Intimate razor. While others need a Gillette anti-chafe stick. Gillette Intimate, the best a man can get, down there. Buy now. The Gillette Intimate Trimmer gives you a gentle, easy way to trim your pubic region. Or you could try waxing. Nope. From America's #1 trusted men's grooming brand, the best a man can get, down there. Buy Gillette Intimate at a retailer near you.
Are you sick and tired of living with that constant pain in your knees and back? Joint pain doesn't just keep you from doing what you love. It affects your job, your relationships, even simple things like getting dressed. It's time to call QC Kinetics. QC Kinetics uses advanced regenerative medicine to restore and repair damaged joint tissue, giving you your life back. Hips, shoulders, elbows, they can all be treated with natural biologics from your own body. Powerful healing agents, highly concentrated. If you're tired of steroid shots that don't work, or if you're trying to avoid surgery, call QC Kinetics now to schedule your free consultation. Learn about these exciting new cutting-edge treatments for pain caused by arthritis or injury. No drugs, no pain meds, no downtime. This is an all-natural treatment that can get you lasting relief. People here are raving about the results. Call now. Appointments are available for this coming week. QC Kinetics. Call 828-333-9517. That's 828-333-9517. In Asheville and in Greenville. 828-333-9517.
From the Ingalls Studios, this is ESPN Asheville, WPEK, W225CJ Fairview, WMXF Waynesville, and iHeart radio station.
All across the Tar Heel State, this is Carolina football.
Stepping through a tackle and stepping to the end zone. It is pouring points in Chapel Hill. Holy cow, Carolina's going to win!
It's the battle for the victory bell against the Duke Blue Devils. Pre-game coverage starts at 7, kickoff at 8 on your home for Carolina football.
Asheville's home for the Tar Heels is ESPN Asheville.
At Ingalls, we're proud to sponsor area athletics at all levels. Whether we're building new fields for T-ball, celebrating Friday night rivals, televising college basketball games, bringing the Fan Fest to semi-pro soccer, or taking you out to the ball game at your minor league park. We're here for the fans. No one gets the dedication to the home team like you guys. And we've got all the sports you can handle. It's all in the bag. Ingalls. Low prices. Love the savings.
Now, your chance to win $1,000. Just enter this nationwide keyword on our website. Dollar. That's dollar. Enter it now.
Log on now to ESPNAVL.com. And good luck from your friends at ESPN Asheville.
The Sportsocracy.
It fires me up, man. I love it. Say it one more time.
The Sportsocracy.
Shake it back!
Beer City's best sports talk.
It is gross.
Just earlier.
They are mature, actually. You just have to get to know them better.
Your lunchtime dose of dumbassery. Live from the Ingalls studio.
Back in the Sportsocracy on ESPN Asheville. It's 92.9 FM, 880 AM, 1400. Sportsocracy heard everywhere on the iHeartRadio app. We're seen everywhere on YouTube. Go to thesportsocracy.com. Click that live video link. Subscribe to the channel so you can join us in the chat for the Threadbare Thursday. You got a topic that you want talked about, you just throw it out in the chat. We will get to it before the end of the program. Got several headlines still to get into here today.
One of them's about Aaron Rodgers' bionic leg.
Yeah, is he close to coming back?
We'll talk about it later.
Is that the thing?
I have some info.
You still got
there.
Okay. He's got an update on the bionic leg.
Daily Draft. This is a really interesting weekend of football to me.
Mm-hmm.
It starts less than ideally.
With tonight.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's just god awful.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if you have looked at the slate for tomorrow night. It doesn't really move you either. But Saturday and Sunday, bangers.
Mm-hmm.
So I want to draft biggest potential upsets of the weekend. There are a lot of dogs that I like a lot this weekend.
Okay. Biggest potential upsets of the weekend. All right. Why don't you start us off? You got,
all right.
You got one that you like more than others?
I have several that I like. The biggest one for me, it's in the NFL, and you're going to tell me I'm crazy when I say this because it sounds a little crazy when it comes out of my mouth. I think the Denver Broncos are going to beat the Buffalo Bills.
Okay.
Yep, I know. I told you. I know it sounds crazy.
Well, yeah, why you got that feeling?
Buffalo has this listless feel to me.
Mm-hmm.
You're coming off a really emotional loss to Cincinnati. Denver's coming off a bye. I think they're a little better at this point than we're letting on because Russell never turns the ball over. And I have a funny feeling. When I saw that number, I told myself when I looked through the matchups, if that gets to a touchdown or more, and it did, it got to 7,
mm-hmm.
then I'm going Denver Broncos money line.
Really?
And that's where I'm at. I know that sounds crazy.
It does sound crazy.
I think Buffalo is overvalued at this point.
Okay.
And Denver is slightly undervalued. Not by much.
I mean, I get wanting to. Yeah. I know feeling like Buffalo's a listless team, but you just lost in the emotional loss. But you're on Monday Night Football. How can you not get up for that game?
Oh, it's not a not get up for it. I think Denver is a perfect setup for what Denver's a perfect setup for what Buffalo doesn't do particularly well.
Mm-hmm.
We've said this. The offense runs through who?
Stephon Diggs.
He's going to get Patrick Surtain.
Mm-hmm.
That doesn't set up nicely.
No.
Nick Bonito. What have we said about both tackles for the Buffalo Bills? They're big and they're slow.
Mm-hmm.
You harass Josh Allen. You look at the matchups with the receivers. I'm telling you, I've had this feeling all week, and nothing has changed.
All right.
By the way, biggest line I've ever seen in an NFL game this weekend. Dallas Cowboys at home hosting Danny DeVito and the New York Giants. It's 17 and a half.
Wow.
17 and a half, and I would bet my house on the Dallas Cowboys.
No doubt. No doubt about it.
That is my favorite upset pick of the weekend, and I cannot get away from it.
You and I will both be on that one, and we'll get it wrong. It'll be a 15-point win.
No. You don't get to ride this. You take Buffalo, be on the wrong side.
No, I was talking about the Giants.
Oh, no, I'm not taking the Giants.
No, hell no. Can't be on that. Couldn't live with myself. Wow, biggest upset.
There's a very close two to me.
Well, I'm gonna go ahead and I'll throw out the game that you're gonna hear here on ESPN Asheville. Duke Blue Devils plus the 14.5 against the North Carolina Tar Heels in Keenan. The one thing the Tar Heels have struggled with is stopping the run. And Duke does it very well, and that's all they're going to do.
I don't see how Duke wins that game without Riley Leonard.
Oh, I don't think they win. I think 2 touchdowns is too much.
Oh, so you're just taking the number.
I'm taking the number.
Okay.
Duke plus the 14.5 feels like it should be right in the realm of possibilities.
Yeah, I don't see it.
You think they're blowing them out?
I do.
Okay.
Duke without Riley Leonard is not good. The defense is fine, but the defense is always on the field because you can't complete passes. You can't there are no sustained drives. So I will say I do not agree with you on that one.
Really?
That one will not be in bangers tomorrow. I can promise you.
You're staying away from the 14.
This might be a week where I don't take a favorite. I have some favorites on the list. I also have 16 dogs on the list.
Next up. It's not really this ain't really a giant upset, but I think it would be just because of the names involved in the matchup. I'm going to take Missouri over Tennessee. They're right next to each other in the rankings, so it's
Missouri's
not a
better.
huge matchup, but Tennessee's a 2-point favorite in Columbia, and I think that's a mistake.
That's one of the 16 dogs.
It's
only 2 point.
Right.
Tennessee's only a 2-point favorite.
It's not huge.
I just don't really understand why Tennessee's a favorite in that game.
I don't either.
That doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me.
I don't either. I mean, maybe it's reaction from last week's Georgia game, but, I mean, Georgia's going to do that to anybody, right?
I
mean
Missouri
other than the
Missouri
teams in
had the
top
ball
5.
with a chance to take the lead in the fourth quarter. So,
but that's what I'm saying. Like, they're going to beat anybody, so you can't really knock Missouri for losing that game. They had chances.
My next pick, I think, is going to shock you a little bit. It's the Miami Hurricanes. You call it a weird gut feeling. You can call it me being a gross pessimist. I have a funny feeling that game's going to be way closer than it should be. And I'm not sure Miami doesn't win. If it wasn't in Doak, I would be taking Miami to win. Because that defense is good. And defensively, Florida State is not as good as – they have not been as good over the last handful of weeks. Now, they didn't allow a lot of points to Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh's playing their second quarterback. They have virtually no weapons. There's almost nothing they can do, and yet they lived between the 40s. I was not overly impressed, and it could be a look-ahead spot. Maybe Florida State blows them out. I just have a funny feeling they're not going to.
I'm surprised.
Rivalry, I hate the number. I'll go ahead and tell you, Miami's going to be one of the bangers tomorrow.
Yeah, big numbers.
14.5 in a rivalry game like that is insane. And Miami's not as good as we thought they would be, but they have been just an absolute godsend betting-wise. Because if you picked your spots with them, you could make a fortune, and I kind of have.
Right.
I've been oddly accurate on Miami over the course of the year.
All right, next possible upset.
I'm debating between two. And I don't think you would take one of them, so I think I can hold on to that one for a minute. You kind of burned me on Missouri because I really hate that they're a favorite. Oklahoma again. I'm taking my West Virginia Mountaineers, plus 13. I don't know what Oklahoma has to do for Vegas to figure out that team is not particularly good. But I'm not sure they don't get beat again. I have not been wrong on Brent Venables for 1 second for 2 years. It is painfully obvious that they play a decent team, and West Virginia is very decent. They should be 7-2. They're not. Oh, yeah, still not over that Houston debacle. But I flat out think West Virginia's a better team. I know it's in Norman, but after Bedlam, that crowd's not going to be as vocal. They now know they're playing for nothing. That has fall on your face spot written all over it.
That's another one that surprises me.
Really?
Yeah.
I love betting West Virginia, and I hate Oklahoma. That should be the least surprising
but I've
thing
heard
that ever
you
came out of
say
my
so
mouth.
many times how bad West Virginia is, and
not this year. They're playing pretty hard.
Okay.
For old Neil Brown,
playing with some heart.
Hey, they're just showing why the brain trust stuck with Neil Brown. Trust the process. I didn't. I'll go ahead and tell you, I was ready to fire him 2 years ago.
Right.
But they're not bad.
Not bad. Not bad. Let's see. Underdog in the NFL.
I'm shocked you're struggling with this.
I really can't. I really don't know. I mean, the Tennessee Titans.
Oh, that's a weak.
I know.
That's a weak upset.
But I'm looking
you shouldn't
at it.
be favored.
I'm
in that
looking
game.
at all of these lines, and I'm like, I don't really see it. Green Bay Packers against the Pittsburgh Steelers. I don't see a chance that Jordan Love goes into Amerisure Stadium or whatever the hell it's called and wins that game. As bad as Kenny Pickett's been.
God, this is the reason that
I'll go Jacksonville Jaguars.
Okay.
+3 at home against the San Francisco 49ers. You got the West Coast team coming East Coast for a 1 o'clock kickoff. You've got the AFC versus the NFC, and those matchups haven't worked really well for the NFC so far. I mean, if I got to pick an upset, I think that's the one. When it comes time to pick this game tomorrow, I'm probably going with San Francisco to cover, but if I got to go with an upset, that's probably the closest one I see.
God, this is why I do the gambling things.
Of course
This is a week where I swear to you, I'm struggling to find favorites that I want to take. Seriously. I am struggling to find favorites that I like.
Really? That's insanity to me.
Well, go ahead and pick another one. You'll see two more that I like. Mess.
I'm sure you got it. You got it all.
Because there's
out.
There's one that I'm pretty sure you weren't taking. That the second you say anything but that, I'm going to take it immediately.
You're gonna. Well, I'll take Penn State and Michigan.
Yep, not in my top 100.
Yeah,
Penn State's going to get drugged down the sidewalk.
You think so?
Oh,
they can't score.
30. I'll say 33-6.
Really?
Oh yeah, that's going to be a bloodletting. Minnesota Vikings. Minnesota Vikings at home against the New Orleans Saints. One of my top 5 favorite NFL dogs ever. Ever. You give Josh Dobbs a week to actually, learn the names of the players in the building, and you're telling me that New Orleans team that is so disjointed offensively is going to go into Minnesota and beat them? Stop. And I like New Orleans better than most people do. But Brian Flores has had a really weird ability to take away that one thing that you really want to do. And I have a weird feeling he is going to have a plan for Taysom Hill, put all of this on Derek Carr, and I don't think he can do it on the road. That has bad news Bears written all over it to me.
All right, final selection.
Oh, since you've been cop-out Spencer over there, Las Vegas Raiders, let's go. Beat the New York Jets. Jets are terrible. They're my team. I'm allowed to say it. Break my heart. I'll say what you really are.
I think this is a first for me. I don't think I've ever seen a half a point spread.
It won't stay that way. It'll be Jets -1 by. You know what that should tell you? The Raiders have been bet mercilessly. Anytime you see a spread that's half a point like that, it started higher than that. And I can tell you that definitively, and I did not look at the number. That was, as soon as I saw Monday night, I immediately went, yep, Raiders. They'll get 2 weeks the coach bump. Jets will go in there, not be able to score again, and the Raiders will beat them.
All right, final selection here. Upsets for the weekend. I don't think there's a real chance of this happening, but hey, you never know. You could have a rough offensive game from the eventual, or who I believe will be the eventual Heisman Trophy winner, Michael Penix. I'll take Utah.
Ugh.
I mean, hey, keep it within a score. You cover the spread at least.
If they keep it within a score, somebody should send T's and P's to whoever died, because that's the only way that's happening. Utah is god-awful offensively. All they can do is run. Now, Oregon ran the ball down Washington's throat.
Yes, they did.
That is a markedly different offensive powerhouse than Utah is.
True. Very true. I mean, it doesn't look like there's too many offensive problems after the last few weeks, but They had that They had that stinker against Arizona a couple of weeks ago. So
Arizona's good,
or Arizona State.
Arizona State is not good.
That's the one that they only scored 15 points in. Remember, everybody went, "Oh no, what's wrong with Washington?" And then they immediately came out and, they struggled with Stanford, but still put up 42 points. And then they put up more than half 100 last week on USC.
Yeah, Arizona this week is that may be the only favorite I give out in bangers. They're only a 10.5-point favorite at Colorado, and that is insane.
They're going to score a bunch.
Oh, yeah. That's going to be a whole lot to very little.
Right. You're in the Sportsocracy. This is ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, and 1400. We'll be right back. The Asheville Championship returns to Harrah's Cherokee Center in Asheville November 10th and 12th. This year's field is the best yet. The Clemson Tigers, Maryland Terrapins, Davidson Wildcats, and the Blazers of UAB. 4 exciting matchups with a champion to be crowned in one of the premier early season tournaments in college basketball. For more information and to get your tickets, go to AshevilleChampionship.com. That's AshevilleChampionship.com. It all starts in Asheville November 10th and 12th. Proudly sponsored by Ingalls Market. If cleanliness is next to godliness, look around the car right now. Is that very godly? Look, life comes at you fast, but so does WBNC Auto Detailing. They have the tools to make your interior look like it's coming off the showroom floor. You don't believe me? Check them out on Instagram. All that filth and years of stains disappear. WBNC Auto Detailing does full interior and exterior details with paint correction, and they do wax and ceramic coatings. Call WBNC Auto Detailing at 455-3700. Premium care with a Southern hospitality touch.
Real estate isn't about properties, it's about people. I'm Clarissa Hyatt-Zach with eXp Realty, your native realtor serving all of Western North Carolina. I will work hard for you, and I believe in doing the right thing every time. I market each of my listings to reach out-of-town buyers. I use a professional photographer and drone video on every single listing, as well as collaborate with agents across the country to find your buyer. Check me out online at clarissasellswnc.com or give me a call at 828-774-6343. It would be my pleasure to assist you through the real estate process.
Season 4 just launched. You up for a night of binging?
Yeah, I took Mucinex 12-hour DM. Its bilayer tablet takes care of my cough and chest congestion for a full 12 hours.
Cool, let's do this.
Buy Mucinex 12-hour DM now for 12-hour cough and chest congestion relief. Use as directed.
The annoying runny nose, the constant sneezing, the itchiness, and battle just to catch your breath. If you suffer from seasonal allergies, sinusitis, or nagging sinus congestion, there's a natural, easy-to-use solution that can help provide fast, drug-free relief. It's called Navage, and it uses powered suction to rinse your nasal passages in seconds. Millions of people use Navage daily to help provide relief from seasonal allergies and sinus congestion. Medications treat the symptoms, but Navage treats the problem at the source, flushing out the allergens and pollen trapped in your nose. Navage also helps wash out airborne bacteria, dust, dirt, and viruses quickly and painlessly, so you can get back to breathing clearly again. Say goodbye to sinus suffering and hello to better breathing with Navage. Navage is available at Walmart, Walgreens, Target, CVS, Rite Aid, and online at Navage.com. Navage, N-A-V-A-G-E. Clean nose, healthy life.
The Gillette Intimate Trimmer gives you a gentle, easy way to trim your pubic region. Or you could try waxing. Nope. From America's #1 trusted men's grooming brand. The best a man can get, down there. Buy Gillette Intimate at a retailer near you.
I feel like I'm constantly cleaning hair off my bathroom floor. At least my Swiffer Sweeper makes it easy. Sweeper heavy-duty dry cloths have ultra-thick pads to trap and lock hairs, like a hair magnet. And when I'm finished cleaning up my hair, Sweeper takes care of his too. Now the hair's gone, all thanks to Swiffer. Try Swiffer Sweeper heavy-duty dry cloths. I promise you'll love them or your money back. And also try Swiffer Sweeper Wet to make quick work of tough, sticky messes.
The Sportsocracy.
These guys are a f***ing disgrace.
It's ESPN Asheville, Threadbare Thursday here in the Sportsocracy. Just throw out your topics in the YouTube stream. We will get to it before the end of the program here. Aaron Rodgers back in the news again. Jeremy, your savior, is he coming back?
Frankly, I really hope not. I do not want to see him behind that mess of an offensive line. I don't think it's going to matter. As I said in the last segment, I think they're going to lose to the Raiders this week.
Mm-hmm.
And then you lose to the Raiders. You have to go to the Bills the following week, and then you got to play the Dolphins on a short week. That is 0-3. You're sitting at 4-7 written all over it. Why would I come back?
Mm-hmm.
And there's no possibility of him coming back before that Black Friday game. I mean, he put out the little graphic with the watch that pointed him coming back against the Browns. Okay, let's say, just for argument's sake, let's say this goes the way I think it will. Then you get a little, with the extended week, you play the Falcons on the 3rd of December. You beat them, you beat the Texans, and you beat the Commanders at home. If you stole one from the Dolphins, whether it's the one in New York on Black Friday or the one in Miami, that still only puts you at 8-7. Then you would have to beat the Browns in Cleveland and New England in New England. Is he coming back for that? Because from what I've been told, that is the earliest he could possibly come back. That Washington game, maybe, if he's even more bionic than he appears to be.
If we've got a shot to run the table, I think he comes back. If we've got a shot to make the playoffs and we win every game from here on out, I bet he comes back.
I don't know.
I don't think he should, but I think he will.
Well, everything
because he's already said it now.
Well,
right?
I mean, and Dan Levitard, who has there ever been a person in the history of time that has gone from the penthouse to the outhouse of just being the biggest buffoon on the planet?
What did he say?
Well, apparently he knows better than Aaron Rodgers' doctors that he's more hurt than let on. What is more hurt than watching the man's Achilles snap on national television? Did anybody disputed that, or did you think he was going to have the foot amputated? It's a quote that's trending around social media right now. It's just a dumb take,
right?
I mean, with the speed bridge that Aaron Rodgers has, Cam Akers came back in 5 months.
Mm-hmm.
He's a running back that has to cut far more often. Now, was he the same guy? No. I mean, there is a possibility that he could come back and play. I'm just not sure you're going to be in a position.
Yeah,
I don't see a path. You really needed to beat the Chargers this week. And I mean, you've got an offense that has 8 offensive touchdowns in 9 games.
Mm-hmm.
That's hard to, or in 8 games, excuse me.
Right.
That's hard to wrap your brain around.
Right. And
does he really change anything?
I mean, he does. He'll be able to.
What does he change?
He will be able to get the ball out quicker. He'll be able to make his decisions quicker. So he will mitigate some of the pass rush in that scenario.
Zach Wilson got the ball out in just under 2.5 seconds on Monday night. It did not matter because the pass rush was eating that pathetic offensive line for breakfast. The
but
one difference.
You don't think that there'll be a difference? You don't think that'll really change to have Aaron Rodgers making that decision rather than Zach Wilson?
I don't think you can just have the hellhounds coming after him, because if he beats you over the top, you're beat. It's not going to go careening over the sideline like it does with Zach Wilson. So that probably takes somebody out of the box. It doesn't matter. Teams are getting home on the Jets with 4. They're not. There's a misnomer that teams are just blitzing the heber-jeebers out of them. They're really not.
Yeah.
That's how bad it is in front of him. I also fully believe he's invested in coming back next year. He said that from the jump. That's why he's worked so hard. His goal is this year, but we've always known that was, I'm not going to say a pipe dream. It was just not super likely.
I don't think it's a pipe dream for him. And I don't think it has anything to do with...
Oh, that's the reason that I didn't use that term.
And I don't think it has anything to do with playoffs either. I don't think it has anything to do with your playoff chances. If you guys lost every game from here on out...
No shot he steps on field.
I bet you would.
Doctors won't clear. That was the thing that I told you I had a little information. If they're not competitive, they lose to the Raiders, you mark my words, this talk of Aaron Rodgers coming back, it'll die off.
They'll shut it down.
They'll shut it down completely. There's no reason. If I have to protect you from yourself, I'll do it. If I have to protect you from yourself, I will do it.
They'll have to.
I don't agree with you. If they're not competitive for the playoffs, then he will go, you know what? All right, this is a lost year. We'll build it back for next year. Our build back better will be far better than Joe Biden's. And we'll make a run at a Super Bowl next year, because that defense is good enough to actually be Super Bowl competitive if you had an offense that was even vaguely competent.
Nobody's ever doubted that.
But, I mean, the big problem with Zach Wilson is that he doesn't have the mind that Aaron Rodgers does. I noticed this Monday night when they were playing with the Chargers. How many times did I see something in a formation? And now, granted, I'm seeing it from a television angle. I'm not down on the field, but a quarterback should be able to diagnose that. And there were times it almost looked like Zach was seeing it, and he had no check. They were in shotgun, and I don't remember. I think they burned a timeout. And it was honestly like he was computing in his head, I have the wrong play call, but I don't know what to do. I don't know if he doesn't have the check. I don't know. But I know definitively Aaron Rodgers would have gone scraping his forehead or something, and it would have been a touchdown.
Right.
Because it was very obvious the Chargers were selling out against the run. Garrett Wilson was one-on-one with the second corner, and Zach had nothing. Mm-hmm. And that's what really changes.
Mm-hmm.
Zach's got the arm talent. That's never really been a problem. It's that there's no trust there.
Right.
Because he will always make that catastrophic decision.
Aaron Rodgers does change things for you. There's no doubt about it.
I think the line is so bad at this point.
And maybe it is.
And I'm not trying to say that the offense wouldn't be better with Aaron. It certainly would. I just don't know that it's going to change the success rate will go up a little bit. And so instead of 8 touchdowns in 8 games, you'll have, I don't know, in that, we'll say that 3-game stretch, you average 17 points, 20 points, somewhere in there. And that's probably enough.
That's enough with that defense.
That's probably enough.
That's all we needed. We've said this since the injury happened, week 1. That's all we need this offense to be able to do is to get me 17 to 20 points a week, and we're going to win every damn game because our defense is that good.
But, I mean, it's borderline irresponsible to me to put him behind this offensive line. I'll tell
I
you.
can see that.
I'll tell you a fun story about the Jets as we speak. Can a person be in 2 places at one time?
No.
Joe Tippmann is currently the starting center and the current starting right guard. That's how few linemen they have left.
Mm-hmm.
They just pulled Carter Warren off IR, so they at least have another tackle if Billy Turner can't play, and he's hurt too now.
Mm-hmm.
They've lost a lineman in every game this year. I've never seen anything like it.
That's awful. Absolutely awful. And no, I don't think Aaron should come back. But I feel like
if the line was intact, I would have no problem.
If it was left up to him, I feel like he would. Once he starts spinning this narrative of I'll be back, I'm going to do something I've never done before, he's never not paid one of those off. And now he's done it with this. And I don't feel like there's a way that he can go back on it. It'll look bad if he goes back on it.
Not if they're not competitive.
Not if they're not competitive. He'll have more of an excuse, but I don't think any of that's going to happen.
They lose to the Raiders in Vegas this week, and I promise you won't hear it come out of his mouth again.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to lose to the Raiders this week. And you should be good enough to win some more games to keep it interesting.
The offense has just regressed to such a point, and I have no faith in Nathaniel Hackett fixing it.
Yeah,
none.
Well, your only remedy there is for Aaron to come back to make that work, to make Nathaniel Hackett work. Is it worth doing it for 3 games at the end of the season? Yeah, well, that remains to be seen. But also, do you want to set the statement for this is what you can look forward to next year?
Not at the risk of his health. Not at the risk of him having to do this all over again.
It doesn't make a whole lot of sense. You're in the Sportsocracy. It's ESPN Asheville. When we come back, it'll be time to give you the most important message of the day.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
Record warmth possible. Going to forecast a tie at 78 degrees. That was last set in 2005. Sunshine and a few clouds around this afternoon. Then the change will start rolling in tonight. Thickening clouds late toward midnight. Maybe a few showers around 53. Tomorrow, a few scattered showers around 58 degrees, maybe some fog in the morning. Veterans Day, just a slight chance of seeing a little bit of rain. Otherwise cloudy and cool, 52. Ray Stidgick, the Weather Channel.
This report is sponsored by Mucinex 12-Hour DM.
Season 4 just launched. You up for a night of binging?
Yeah, I took Mucinex 12-Hour DM. Its bilayer tablet takes care of my cough and chest congestion for a full 12 hours.
Cool, let's do this.
Buy Mucinex 12-Hour DM now for 12-hour cough and chest congestion relief. Use as directed.
Are you ready to take your financial well-being to the peak of excellence? Hey everybody, it's Chris Angel from Mountain Credit Union. Summit Personal Checking is a high-dividend checking account designed to elevate your financial goals to unprecedented heights. Prepare for a financial experience that combines exceptional benefits, competitive returns, and unparalleled convenience, all in one powerful account. Rates subject to change, restrictions apply. Visit mountaincu.org or stop by any of our local branches to learn more about this limited-time offer from your local credit union. At Mountain Credit Union, we're here for you because we're here with you.
Have your outdoors and running water too with Luxury Lou, the tasteful solution to portable bathroom rentals. Family owned and local, Luxury Lou Rental provides modern bathrooms on the go with running water, AC and heating, flushable toilets, and elegant designs. Luxury Lou's are perfect for weddings, corporate events, remodels, and more. Don't leave your well-dressed guests to use a dirty porta-potty John.
Ew.
Turn to Asheville natives. Luxury Lou. Visit LuxuryLousRental.com.
The iHeartRadio app and the NFL right in your pocket. The home of the NFL Podcast Network, covering all 32 NFL teams, plus all the expert advice to win your fantasy league. And, of course, live NFL games.
Touchdown!
Download the free iHeartRadio app today. Free never sounded so good.
This is Anish Shroff. Join me, Luke Kuechly, Jim Zoki, and Sharon Thorsland Thursday as the Panthers travel to Chicago to take on the Bears. Pre-game coverage starts at 7. Kickoff is at 8:15 on the Carolina Panthers radio network.
Panther football live all season long on News Radio 570 WWNC.
Running a small business is no small task. At Home Trust Bank, we work hard to prepare businesses for whatever tomorrow may bring. Your dreams are our business, and we have local experts who can help you plan for a successful future. Dependable guidance you need and service you'll appreciate. At Home Trust Bank, we take your small business banking personally. Visit your local Home Trust branch or anytime at htb.com. Member FDIC.
The best season of the year is here.
Tailgate season.
Monster Brewing presents this season's MVP.
The Beast Unleashed.
With 4 bold, familiar flavors.
With 0 caffeine and 0 sugar.
Beast Unleashed is your new pregame ritual.
With white haze, mean green, peach perfect, and scary berries, there's a flavor for every fan. The Beast Unleashed.
6% alcohol by volume. Unleashed responsibly. Must be 21 or over. Beast Unleashed available at your local retailer. Back in the Sportsocracy, time for the most important message of the day.
Don't do crimes.
Yeah, there's, crimes always happening in New York City. And Jeremy, there's an old movie line that I know you've never seen the movie, but the line from the movie was the greatest trick the devil ever pulled was convincing the world that he didn't exist. Until I saw this headline, I feel like I'd been on one side of that because, I don't know, I guess in all of the latest news items of the day and all the things to worry about in the world between, threats from the open southern border or, the government stealing your money or
you could have just stopped at the
wars or whatever is going on in the world. I don't know. I just forgot that organized crime was still a thing. And in New York City, they've indicted 10 Gambino crime family members. I didn't even know the Gambino crime family was still a thing. I don't know why. I just assumed that it went away.
Nope.
But like after the whole John Gotti thing years ago, remember we had the big trials and all of that? For some reason, that just all went out of my mind.
There's a Netflix special on this that would have told you all of these things, and it's very good.
My wife has mentioned it a couple of times that we should watch it, and I just haven't done that. But yeah, 10 members of the Gambino crime family have been indicted, including among the charges here against them was they were trying to take over New York City's garbage hauling and demolition industry.
That's the reason that organized crime will never go away in New York.
Which included, according to the story here, a hammer attack that sent one worker to the hospital and a grim threat to cut a business owner in half with a knife. They're still doing stuff old school in New York City.
Hammers.
You should. That's just hammers. The 16-count indictment lists the defendants. Some of these names are just, I mean, they're clear chef's kiss Italian mobster names. Joe, Brooklyn, Lonnie.
That sounds about right.
Uncle Ciccio. Fifi.
Fifi is not, I'm going to go with, you drew a short straw when they were assigning names.
Angelo Fifi Grattalone.
Yeah, just go by your full name, because that sounds like a mobster name. Fifi sounds like a cat that pees in tank shoes.
Yeah. Or my favorite, 36-year-old Vincent Vinny Slick Minscaro from Staten Island. He's the one that you don't want to mess with.
My story, as is often the case, it's about a Florida man. It's actually about a slew of Florida men. And this is not actually crimes. It's simulated crimes. The first ever Florida Man Games are set for February 24th in St. Augustine, Florida. And you might be asking, what exactly are the Florida Man Games? Well, the founder of this, Pete Melfi, is just like us. He sees a lot of wacky headlines, and it often has to do with people in Florida. So he has come up with a set of events. It's 5 events for 16 teams of 3 to 5 people apiece. One of them is called a catalytic converter, 2 bikes, and a handful of copper pipes. A race against time. Yeah, it's exactly what you think it is. You have to disable a catalytic converter out of a car, steal 2 bikes that are chained up, and then steal copper wires from out underneath a house.
Yes.
Other games that will be seen in the events are the evading police relay. They have actually gotten real-life police officers that are going to chase people through a maze as they try to evade the police.
I like that.
They are accepting applications. They have received well over 200 applications, and by the end of the day, it might be 201.
No. This is not the event for you.
By February 24th, I will be in markedly better shape, especially if I can adhere to my no boozing.
Mm-hmm.
They also
Here's
have
the problem. Here's the problem. One of those events will require you to use tools. And you don't have the particular set of skills.
Okay. And I do not have that particular set of skills.
Right.
But the other 3 I think I'm very well equipped for. The Beer Belly Florida Sumo.
Okay.
The weaponized pool noodle mud duel.
Mm-hmm.
And the Category 5 cash grab. I have very large hands.
You do.
I feel like 3 of those events, I would be a hammer.
Yeah.
And it's teams of 5, so, okay, maybe there's one of those that I don't need to use tools.
Okay.
And if it's pick and lock, I'm not too shabby at that.
Is this like every team member has to do each event? Or is
it doesn't say that in the story.
See, that's where I'm going with this. Like, can we leave Jeremy out of this event? Do we only need 4 members of the team to do these events?
So basically, that means I need some team members that do crimes. There are also general admission tickets available. Plenty of other events that you could participate in if you don't want to be a part of the games.
Okay.
The Chicken Coop Bingo, an obstacle course, a mullet contest.
There you go. You can win that one.
Double entry there. And a ride on a mechanical alligator. Yeah, I said what I said.
What's the challenge there? Do alligators,
Well, it probably wouldn't be easy to ride one.
But I'm thinking a mechanical alligator can't move like a normal alligator. So is this just like a bronco bull kind of thing that they put scales on?
And just because this is in the last line of the story, your judges for this event will be Dan Nitro Clark and Lori Ice Fedrick from American Gladiators.
Oh, Ice is going to be there? I want to go now. I liked her.
Yes. We all liked her.
I saw the documentary. I still like her.
Oh,
brings back
Patrick
great
Holt
memories.
said this is the Felon Olympics, and the winning team gets matching ankle bracelets.
No doubt.
What do you win for winning the Florida Man Games?
Oh, it's ankle bracelets. Definitely. Gold ankle bracelets. They give away bracelets for the World Series of Poker. You definitely get beeper monitors on your ankle that are gold for this.
That is a good one.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
Let's see.
24-karat gold ankle bracelet.
Yeah, giant aviator sunglasses also would be a good one. I'm thinking something.
I wear aviators every single day.
I was thinking something in the realm of maybe not aviators maybe that's not the right thing.
Pit
to say
vipers.
Here. Yeah, kind of like that. Because I was thinking like a Las Vegas Elvis, like those kind of glasses that just cover the whole face. It's like a WWE championship belt for your face.
So something that the natural light boy Hick Flair would wear?
Yes.
Is that what you're telling me?
Yes. Something that a cross between Coco Beware and the $1 Million Man would have worn.
So, me.
You thought, yes. 100%.
Indeed.
You're in the Sportsocracy, ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM and 1400. What will be the decision? Jim Harbaugh, is he getting fired or not fired? Is he getting suspended? Is he getting fined by the Big Ten?
I almost hope it is a fine just because how absolutely pathetic that would look. We fined him $250,000. Awesome.
I think it was the number 2 guy on the Dan Patrick show earlier today that said the actual best way to create the most outrage that they possibly could with a punishment for Jim Harbaugh would be to suspend him for 1 game, and we're suspending him for the Maryland game. So he gets to be there for Penn State. He gets to be there for Ohio State. They're going to suspend him for 1 game, and he misses the Maryland game.
You can suspend him for the Big Ten title game, too. Because that
Not
could
much
be,
competition.
Well, that could be against Iowa, who you want to take a stab at what the over-under in their game with Rutgers is this week?
What?
What the over-under for Rutgers, Iowa is?
27.
28. It's the lowest debuting line in college football history.
Good Lord.
And it hasn't gone up, and it won't. And guess what? I'm going to bet it, too.
Are you betting the under?
Until I see an Iowa line that is 19.5, I am not taking the over. You want to hear the wildest stats you will ever hear?
What's that?
So the Northwestern Iowa game, that was at Wrigley Field. It finished 10-7. That was only the 9th highest scoring game at Wrigley Field this season. They play baseball there.
Mm-hmm.
They don't score points like that. And it runs in that instance.
Right.
There were 8 baseball games that had higher scores than 10-7 at Wrigley Field this year.
Wow. Offensive futility at its finest.
Brutal. Just brutal.
The correct I'm still not sure. I'm still not sure what the correct position should be here. Part of me feels
I don't know that
like
there is a correct here.
There is, but not right now.
Well, there's but to all of it.
Well, because here's the problem. What if it is far-fetched? What if it's so stupidly unbelievable that that's actually true? That it's actually true that Jim Harbaugh had no clue. He didn't know. He trusted the guy way too much. He thought he was getting, he thought he had a wonder kid, right? He thought he had some kid that could read defenses, and he didn't ever think for a second that this guy was sending people to other games and scouting out signals and studying them and knowing them and all of that. Maybe that's true.
Then you should be fired for being absolutely unmitigatingly the dumbest person on the history of the planet.
Maybe so. But that's a school issue, right? That's not a Big Ten issue. The Big Ten can't come in here and say, "Oh, you can no longer coach here."
100% you can.
I mean, they could.
We've done. How many times have we done that? Where you get sanctioned for lack of institutional control because of something that happened on your watch?
Yeah, but the Big Ten's never done that. That's what I'm saying.
Ohio State. The tattoo scandals and all that with Jim Tressel. They never definitively proved that he knew anything. Mm-hmm. What they proved was that if you are the head coach of this institution, you should know what is going on here, and that's what they'd get Jim Harbaugh with. And the only problem is that that's going to take a considerable amount of time.
Right.
That's where this is always falling apart for me. Time's not on your side. It's just not. Because you're going to try to adjudicate this quickly. It's going to end up in court. And when it goes to court, it's going to get shot down.
Mm-hmm.
Or you'll end up with a TRO on it that lasts through the playoff. And then we're talking about this again in March when Jim Harbaugh is probably the head coach of the Chargers or the Raiders.
There's no other way this ends. Jim Harbaugh will be somewhere else. He will be in the NFL at the end of this season.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
He cannot continue to do this, and Michigan can't continue to do it with him. There's no way after this season that Michigan can come back and go, okay, yeah, you remember that contract extension we were talking about? Even if he wins the title. I don't think it. I really don't think it's coming.
I don't
It will be
see
the moment
anyway.
where he goes, see y'all later. I got to go.
Well, that
3
would be the
years-
most fitting is he wins a national title and then
Oh, yeah. He wins the national title, he leaves, and then they take the national title away from him. That's exactly how this is going
which is still the most pathetic punishment for anything. Oh, that thing that we all saw? Yeah, that didn't happen. But it did, though.
Mm-hmm.
Well, in the record books, it didn't. Who cares?
The greatest poetic justice here would be
they lose to Ohio State.
They lose to Ohio State. Absolutely. The greatest poetic justice here is let the problem solve itself, right? You let Harbaugh go through this season. He loses to Ohio State. He decides it's time to move on, and it takes Michigan off the hook, right? Michigan would have cause to fire him anyway.
Mm-hmm.
So whatever's in his contract, I'm sure there's lawyers that will get them out of whatever payment would be due or whatever that is.
I don't think there's a path that they fire him.
I think he steps down before it gets to that point.
I don't think they would even push that.
Seriously?
No, I don't.
I do. If Jen says,
Do you realize how
screw
irrelevant-
you, I'm not going anywhere, they would have to.
I don't agree with you. I don't. Do you realize how irrelevant Michigan was for 25 years before Jim Harbaugh showed up?
Mm-hmm.
They're not doing this of their own volition. Now, if the NCAA comes in and hands, and I don't even know how they would do that. Show cause has always been, that's always been the NCAA's way of keeping somebody out, but they were already gone. That's how I would say this goes, is that the season, whatever happens. They win a national title, they don't. And then he takes the Chargers job or the Raiders job or the Bears or whichever one it is he decides he wants. And then the NCAA puts a 10-year show cause on him. I mean, 62, 61?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I mean, now you have a show cause on you that would put you into the early part of your 70s. So that removes you from the sport for all intents and purposes.
Mm-hmm.
And then you throw a 3-year on everybody else on the staff. I mean, because I don't think anybody on the staff's getting this job.
No.
They would go big game hunting. I don't know for who.
Yeah, you're not handing this to Mike Hart.
I don't know. Michigan's weird about giving the Michigan man thing. And I don't know who you have in the family that you would want to give this job to.
Yeah, I don't know either.
I think if it wasn't for the scandal, that's probably who it would be.
Mm-hmm.
But with all
You
of
have
this
to sever
hanging over his head, I don't think you can do
have
that.
to. You have to sever this. You have to cut it out at some point. I don't know what the Big Ten will do. I said it from the jump. I think indefinite suspension is probably the most logical thing. And then you give it a week or two and let things die down, and then you go, okay, indefinite suspension over. Here he's back for the Ohio State game, and then we move on. And then maybe we call it good after that, right? I mean, it won't be over for Michigan. Michigan's still going to have problems after this. Once the NCAA is on your case, they're going to stay on your case for a while. But it'll be over for Harbaugh. And he won't have to worry about it anymore. It's a win-win for him. It's just everybody else in maize and blue that I feel bad for. Because this could have an effect. This is a sign. The sign stealing scandal is as big of a deal as they made it out to be with the Houston Astros in baseball. I just don't feel like most people care.
And to me, it's an exponentially bigger deal than the Astros deal.
Why?
Because one's baseball and one's football.
It's the exact same crime.
Not really. I mean, if you don't understand how knowing what somebody's going to do in football is a much, much bigger deal than it is in baseball, I can't really help you.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, he knows when he's going to steal second. He still has to throw him out. Mm-hmm. All right, so I know he's coming. You still got to throw the pitch before he takes off. So it's not like we're going to sit here in a standoff like, I know what you're going to do. You still got to gun him out, and it's somebody that's pretty fast.
I mean, if you know the pitch is coming, then it's easier to hit. You know what play's coming in football, it's still easier to stop. It's about the same.
Still got to hit it.
You still got to stop.
Oh, I know a curveball's coming. Cool, you had a 1-3 shot at that anyway. I know a run is coming as opposed to a pass, and you're not going to check out of it. Yeah, that changes things a lot.
You're in the Sportsocracy. This is ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, 1400.
I believe real estate isn't about properties. It's about people. I'm Clarissa Hyatt Zach with eXp Realty, serving all of Western North Carolina. Navigating the home buying and selling journey can feel overwhelming at times, and that's why having an agent who cares about you and your needs is key. I'm a native of Western North Carolina, and I close over a home a week. I'm an expert in the market, pricing my sellers correctly to net you the most money, and working as a skilled negotiator for my buyers. Please give me a call today at 828-774-6343 to set up a complimentary market analysis.
At Ingles, we're proud to sponsor area athletics at all levels. Whether we're building new fields for T-ball, celebrating Friday night rivals, televising college basketball games, bringing the Fan Fest to semi-pro soccer, or taking you out to the ball game at your minor league park. We're here for the fans. No one gets the dedication to the home team like you guys. And we've got all the sports you can handle. It's all in the bag. Ingles. Low prices. Love the savings.
It all starts in Asheville with the Asheville Championship at the Harris Cherokee Center, Asheville on November 10th and 12th. It's the early season men's college basketball event featuring the men's teams from Clemson University, Maryland University, Davidson University, and University of Alabama, Birmingham. The Asheville Championship is an incredible way to bring quality college basketball to the fans of the Blue Ridge Mountains. Tickets are on sale now at AshevilleChampionship.com. Save your spot and cheer on your team today.
Hey, what do you want for the holidays?
Ooh, how about new boots? Or a popcorn machine? A sports car, the kind with the cool doors? A trip to Ibiza? Sushi chef? Robot butler?
Skip the guessing game and give a gift that could make any dream come true. With over $85 million in total prizes, new holiday scratch-offs from the North Carolina Education Lottery are on everyone's wish list.
Ship in a bottle, Moose Mus Cologne, couples trampoline?
Must be 18 to play. Approximate overall odds of winning range from 1 in 3.06 to 9.95. Problem gambling helpline 877-718-5543.
It's Ryan Seacrest here. Check this out. With Boost Infinite, you get the latest iPhone every year and unlimited wireless for just $60 a month. You get the new titanium iPhone 15 Pro that was just announced. Then next year, you get the latest iPhone, and this keeps happening every year. It's Boost Infinite. Infinitely better. To switch today or learn more, pick up your phone, dial pound 250, and say Boost Infinite.
Terms apply. After 30 gigabytes, service may be slow. Receive a comparable iPhone model each year with an acceptable trade-in every year. Requires credit qualification and 36-month phone financing agreement. You'll have the option to receive a one-time auto-dial text message from iHeartMedia.
Haywood EMC, your local Touchstone Energy Cooperative, is powering a brighter future for our community by offering college scholarships, education grants, athletic camps, and much more. Serving the rural residents of Western North Carolina with affordable, reliable, safe services and open communications for over 80 years. Learn all of the ways Haywood EMC is working in the community at haywoodemc.com/community.
The Sportsocracy.
We treat star athletes better because they're better people.
That's not fair.
Life isn't fair, kiddo. Get used to it.
It is the Sportsocracy, closing it out for a Threadbare Thursday. Thursday night football tonight, Carolina Panthers and the Chicago Bears. What was that?
It was more of a walrus than it was
a
bear. I can't do a bear growl, and if I was going to, it certainly wouldn't be for the Chicago Bears. That bear has been tranquilized.
That was great.
That bear lost his mind at the zoo and had to be put down.
That was like the growl of Winnie the Pooh.
Oh, that's what I should have done, Winnie the Pooh. That's the only bear that you really... I don't believe we're going to score very much tonight.
It's going to be an absolutely terrible game.
I'll watch the All-22 tomorrow.
I don't know if there's anything really worth watching out of this. I mean, it'd be good
under,
to see.
When I get the media recap in the morning, which will probably be all of this game that I see. And now I say all of that, and I will still watch every down of it because I'm a degenerate, and I'll still find some way to wager it.
Yes.
How long is the recap of this game? Average NFL game's 15 to 20 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
How long will this one be?
I'd say 9 to 10.
I'll go 4.5. Jets-Giants was 5 minutes. So
that's it?
Yeah.
With all the punts?
Well, and the punts were sped up.
Yeah. See, I don't know if you're going to have that. I don't know if you'll have that many punts in the game. They're going to be plenty, sure. But I think this might end up being a high-scoring affair. And when I say high-scoring affair, I mean like in the 20s. 24, 21, something like that. I'm on the Carolina Panthers plus the 3.5. It's that hook that got me.
Oh, that's what got you?
That's
not
what got
the fact
me.
that Secret Bagent Man probably throws at least an interception tonight.
I mean, maybe. But do I trust that the Panthers will do anything with it?
Not really.
Not really. So, yeah, I'm on the Panthers tonight.
Enjoy the football.
Yeah. We'll be back with you tomorrow for a
Football Friday.
Tune in right here on ESPN Asheville at noon.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
Record warmth possible. Going to forecast a tie at 78 degrees. That was last set in 2005. Sunshine and a few clouds around this afternoon. Then the change will start rolling in tonight. Thickening clouds late toward midnight. Maybe a few showers around 53. Tomorrow, a few scattered showers around 58 degrees, maybe some fog in the morning. Veterans Day, just a slight chance of seeing a little bit of rain, otherwise cloudy and cool 52. Ray Stidgick, the Weather Channel.
When seasonal allergies and clogged sinuses make you miserable, you want fast relief. But recently there's confusion about which cold and allergy products work and which ones don't. In fact, oral phenylephrine, a drug found in many oral decongestants in the cold and allergy aisle, is currently being evaluated by the FDA because it may be ineffective. Luckily, there's a drug-free solution called Navage that for many provides on-the-spot relief. Navage is the natural way to relieve congestion by sucking out the allergens, germs, and mucus that can make you stuffy and miserable. Nasal irrigation works, and Navage makes it quick and easy, but more than anything, it helps you breathe better. Navage uses powered suction to pull saline in one nostril, around the back of the nose, and out the other nostril. Trust drug-free Navage so you can breathe better, snore less, and feel healthier. Ask for Navage at Walmart, Walgreens, CVS, Rite Aid, Target, or find us online at Navage.com. Navage, N-A-V-A-G-E, clean nose, healthy life.
Some intimate parts need the gentle, easy trim of a Gillette trimmer. And some need the closeness and comfort of a Gillette Intimate Razor. While others need a Gillette Anti-Chafe Stick. Gillette Intimate, the best a man can get, down there. Buy now.
From the Ingalls Studios, this is ESPN Asheville, WPEK, W225CJ Fairview, WMXF Waynesville, and iHeart radio station.